Welcome to Player Way. I do not have Jordan on the screen. Hang on a second. There we are. We're good. Welcome to Player Way, your weekly video game podcast covering all news, reviews, and just more fun things about gaming. I'm your host, Johnny Murr. Did I already say that? I don't know, but I just said it again. We have an exciting show, man. Actually, this week's very exciting because this week's going to be fun. Straight up just fun because... we don't have any rants currently planned. Who knows? And we have a very fun topic, a ranking to be specific. If you guys clicked on the video, you already know what we're going to be doing. But yeah, we're here joined with Jordan Prater.
Yay, what up?
Yeah. Prater, what can people go follow you on?
So you can follow me on Twitch if you want. I'll eventually maybe stop procrastinating and saying that I'm gonna stream and actually maybe get back to streaming again. But I do have a Twitch channel, Prater2321. If you want to follow me on there, I also have links to all of my other social medias off my Twitch. Also, if you care to follow those. But yeah, no, mostly I'm just chilling.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, definitely go do that. Awesome guy. But he's here back with us again this week. He was back. He was with us last week as well. So boom, first back-to-back podcast. How you feeling about that?
Was it? I feel like the first time and second time was back-to-back. Or was it? Or was it like a couple weeks apart? Maybe it was a couple weeks apart.
What was the first one? What did you come on the podcast for the first one specifically for?
The first time, wasn't I on for the ranking system?
I think that was the second time.
Was it the second time? That I actually don't remember what the first time was.
Man, hold on, wait a minute. You know what? We're going on a
Black Myth Wukong.
Boom, there it is. Yeah, good one.
Yeah, we were pretty much just talking about Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, we're gonna echo for a second. Okay, we're good.
But yeah, we're back. We got a great show for you playing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But of course, we're gonna talk about tradition. We're gonna maybe talk about some news. I know Jordan was literally, me and him, for 5 seconds started talking about South of Midnight. He had no idea what that was, so we're probably gonna talk about that for a hot second.
I didn't. I feel awful.
But also, we're kind of just gonna chill. This is gonna be a very chill podcast. This is gonna be a true podcast. We're literally just sitting down and we're just gonna talk. We have no really planned agenda or anything. So yeah, it should be fun. Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you tuning in and clicking on the video, first of all. Appreciate all the support you guys give us. Share with your friends, subscribe, do what you got to do. We appreciate any support you guys give us, especially on this podcast right here. We cover gaming. Doesn't matter what you love: Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, third-party PC, indie, VR, whatever it may be. We love video games.
We try it all.
Yeah, we
sort
try.
of.
We try. Yeah, we cover gaming, and we just love gaming. That's why we're here. That's why this podcast is called what it is, Play Your Way, because we just want you guys to have fun with this industry and this medium that we love so much, and we're trying to share that to the best of our abilities. But
everyone says don't have too much fun. That's a lie. Have too much fun gaming. Have too much fun.
Yes, burn yourself out. That
continuously.
Yes. Oh man, but we're gonna get started.
No breaks.
Hey, that's illegal in some areas. Well,
is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Arrestable in at least 17 states.
Wow. It's wild how you know that off the top of your
it's called passion.
It's the manager in you.
That's what it is. Don't you forget it.
Awesome. All right, well let's get started with our tradition. What have we been playing? I'm gonna just keep me very simple. I've been playing the same things I've been playing the last week. Dragon Age Veilguard and Planet Coaster. That's pretty much it. What about you?
I basically still haven't put the Zero Dawn remaster down.
Yep.
I did the last side quest today to guarantee myself the best ending. So I finished the Frozen Wilds playthrough, got through all that. I did, because I turned my, I've been tempted, so I turned my Game Pass on for a month. And I have been playing a little bit of the new Call of Duty. And I played about the first half hour of Persona 3 Reload. So.
Okay, well, that was a huge turn. That was not where I thought you were going.
Well, I just, I saw a video recently where somebody ranked Reload better than 5, and I felt like that was bold. So I was like, while I have Game Pass for a month, let me see.
His internet went out. Oh boy. While he gets back in, okay. First of all, somebody putting Persona 3 over Persona 5. That's crazy. I mean, I've heard great things about Persona 3. Don't get me wrong, but Persona 5 is like, that's like one of like the JRPGs, you know. That'd be very hard to beat.
Man, you know,
Oh,
I
and
am so sorry.
You're
I don't
good,
know
bro.
if my internet is actually just having problems or if it's the rain, because it has been raining all day where I live.
It has been raining. It has been raining over there
Yeah,
as well.
so I don't know.
It's
I don't know
like,
if maybe the weather
we'll
is
get
playing
through
a
it.
factor right now. But
We'll get
hey,
through it.
I'm gonna keep reconnecting as many times as I can.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
Yep, that's fine. And I'll keep covering as many times as I have to.
If you want,
It's
if you want me to drop, just send me a text message and I'll act like I never
Heck
even been
no,
here.
heck
You know what I mean?
no.
I'll act like
Heck
I've never
no.
even been here.
But I'd have you.
Even if you do, I appreciate that you don't want to resort to that option, but know that it's there.
Hey, bro, I would have you on the podcast every week if I could. All right. And by could means like if you were available every week.
I mean, we could.
Oh, and he's gone. No, that's terrible timing. That's terrible timing. No. Oh, and he's gone again. Oh, RIP. Oh, wow. That was awful timing. But I'm sorry. I find that so funny. I love when things like that happen on content, when you say something and then like literally a second afterwards.
I wish I had like
Oh, he's
masks or something that I could just keep like putting on and like taking off. That way, every time I came back, I just had a different look.
That was legit perfect timing. You were like, well, I mean, I don't even know what you're about to say, but that was really perfect.
Oh man,
What did I even say? Oh yeah, I said yeah. By could I mean like if you were available every week is what I was saying.
Sure.
Or if you were available every week, that's what I meant to say.
I probably could be.
You could be. But anyway, here's I just remembered I did play another game this week. I played a very little bit, but I did play it. Mario and Luigi Brothership. I did try that out. I played about an hour on stream, and then I've played about like two more hours just on my own time, like a little bit before bed some days.
What did you play last night?
I didn't play anything really. I just did a bunch of trivia.
Oh, okay.
I did like a bunch of video game and rap trivia.
I didn't pull it up to see what you did. I just saw that you went live last night, kind of late.
Yeah, I did do a very late stream after Bible study and stuff like that. But
nice.
Yeah,
Late stream.
Yeah, late stream. It was chill. It was literally just 2 hours of me just chilling. Like for the first hour and a half, we were literally just talking and doing trivia, and then I hopped on Planet Coaster 2, and then like 5 minutes in, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go to bed. So yeah, that's kind of how that worked. But yeah, Mario and Luigi Brothership. So I went ahead and played that. This is a game I was very excited for because, number one, it's just a franchise that we haven't seen in so long, and a lot of us didn't even think it was coming back. And also, like, Austin kind of makes fun of me for this in a good way. All my favorite Mario games are spin-offs or, like, not traditional Mario games, which is so true. Like, Mario Baseball, Mario plus Rabbids, Super Mario RPG, Mario Tennis, just so many oddball Mario games are like my favorite Mario game.
You're not a just Mario game kind of person.
Right. And that's also the same way with Pokemon too. Like I love all the Pokemon spin-offs more than the actual like Pokemon game. Even though I still love the traditional Mario and Pokemon games. It's like something about the spin-offs are always my favorites. So anyway,
did you ever play Stadium?
Oh my god. Oh, dude. That is like, that's right below Snap. That's right below Snap for me.
Okay.
Yeah. And Snap is numero uno. So, yeah.
Was the new Snap any good? I know that you traded it in.
It's in my top 20 games of all time.
Okay. Cool.
Whoa. What?
You did. You might have another one, but you definitely traded that in. I can pull up your account and show you.
I definitely did not.
It was whenever you were still an employee. It was very early on. You traded it in towards another release. Like I said, you very well might have bought it again.
Really?
I don't doubt it, but yeah.
I may have bought a second one.
I don't doubt it. Maybe that's why you traded it in. It's just
Maybe.
you had to. Like I said, you didn't complain about it. I just remember you bringing it in on trade.
That is, I'm flabbergasted by this. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
It's a weird memory that I have of a weird, I know it's
It
a
definitely
weird thing
had to
remember,
been like I
but-
had an extra copy or like something because I would never trade my like original copy in because I love that game too much. It's so good.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's one of those games where you really can't explain what's so good about it. It really is just a play it magic type of game. Like there really is no explanation. You're really just taking pictures.
I need
That's
to
it.
I need to get a Switch so I can play more Nintendo stuff.
We need to get you a Switch and an Xbox. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, for sure.
One way or the other.
I'd even settle for a Series S at this point. I really want an X because I want to be able to go back and play some of the older Xbox games I still have. Like it'd be nice to just regularly pop in Skate 2 on my next gen system and know I'm not going to have any issues playing it.
Right.
Because that's probably apart from like the standard Halo, like Skate 2 still probably is like my favorite 360 era game. So
Right. It's a good one.
so good.
But yeah, so anyway, I'm a huge fan of like Mario spin-offs, and specifically I've loved a lot of Mario RPGs. Obviously Mario plus Rabbids is one of my favorite games like ever. Super Mario RPG is one of my favorite games ever. I love the Paper Mario series, right? So you get the point. I love Mario RPGs and I love Mario spin-offs, so I was very excited for this, and I've never tried a Mario and Luigi game. And so, I thought that this one looked really good. And about 3 hours in, I can confidently say that I think the game is okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I just think it's okay. I think it's fine. I think it's exactly what I expected, to be honest with you.
I've heard nothing like pizzazzy about it.
Yeah,
so.
I genuinely, like, if I was looking at my grading scale, the one that we made, I do genuinely just think it is a good game. I think it's that. I think it's a 7 out of 10. Good game. Of course, I'm only 3 hours in. It could like change drastically.
Sure.
But like from where I'm at, I genuinely just don't think there's anything bad about it. I don't think there's anything great about it. I think if it's what you're looking for, it's gonna hit it on the nail. I think if it's not what you're looking for, stay away. I generally just think it's exactly what it needs to be. It's
a
just
pedestal
solid.
character Nintendo game. It's going to perform at least to a decent par. So.
Yeah, for sure. I have to say that I do really love the art style. The art style they went for this one is very good. I low-key like
it's like a top down at an angle kind of game.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like I would say kind of like isometric mixed with like a Lego game. It's like a Lego game kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, it's just really great. But I love the art style, specifically like the coloring and the cell shading that they do in it. Like, I low-key love it. It kind of looks like if Mario Wonder had a baby with like Hi-Fi Rush, kind of in a way.
Okay.
That's kind of what it reminds me of. So I love
Fun
that
comparison.
Yeah, I love that. But it blows my mind how similar it is to Mario RPG. Like the combat specifically is like almost identical outside of the animations. But the way it performs and the way it plays is like identical. Which is my favorite part about the game so far is the combat. I think the combat's just really good. I just don't think like the story is necessarily all that interesting or engaging, or I don't think like the level designs are like incredible. Again, I think it just does what it needs to do. I think it's just fun.
Sure.
It's good.
Sure.
But I have to say, IGN giving it a 5, that's crazy. Like, I get it. It may not like live up to like Game of the Year Mario standards. It may not be like your next big 3D Mario, but like a 5? Are we serious? Like, there is a lot worse games to play out there.
It is pretty tough.
Than that. Like, a 5 is crazy. But it is what it is. Everybody has their opinions, and that's what we have to understand. Even with critics, they all have their opinions.
They sure do.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I started my second playthrough of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I actually made the character live on stream. The video is actually up on YouTube. Her name is Drea. I went with a female this time. Human race. I am the rogue class this time, and my faction is the Veil Jumpers. And I'm absolutely in love with this character. Like, I'm so happy the way Drea turned out. Like it, low key.
From what you told me the other day, it sounds like the second character is what is really doing it for
It
you.
is like the game is really growing on me. And what's crazy is I already loved the game, and the more I play it, the more I'm loving it, which is different for me because number one, I don't typically play a lot of games like a second time, especially immediately afterwards, right?
Sure.
But when I do, it's typically to solidify how I feel about a game. Like Alan Wake 2, as soon as I finished that for the first time, I was like, I think this might be like one of my favorite games of all time easily. So I replayed it a second time, and I was like, yep, I think it's like easily my third favorite game of all time. Whereas this one, I'm like, I'm just curious. Like, I want to experience more of the game, right? And while I'm doing it, I'm realizing how much I actually love and appreciate the game. Because cool. I'm experiencing already different things that I didn't experience in the first one. And I'm like making a lot of the opposite decisions that I've made in the first one. And yeah, right. it really is just I think wonderful. See your results. I think it is a really wonderful game.
Yeah, that's dope though.
Yeah. But and then Planet Coaster. I mean, I'm still having a ball. I built an insane ride. It's like a water coaster, so it's like a water ride with like a big splash, but then like halfway through it turns into like a coaster. And it's like it's pretty cool. And I made it like Viking
like
theme. Yeah, it's like a hybrid. I made it like a Viking. Oh my gosh, like a Viking theme. But there's like these magical Norse mythology like golems and like rock things everywhere, and you're like going through portals and everything. I might low key what I might do for Planet Coaster content when I like make like a big ride or a really cool ride, I may like showcase it in like a video and like just do like a tour and then like ride it like a perspective or whatnot. I don't know. I feel like that could be kind of cool. If you're into that. Build. Well, that's what I was thinking. I was just thinking. I think that's the next thing Planet Coaster 3 needs. Yes, I'm summoning it into existence. All right.
Already.
Planet Coaster 3 should have like where you can basically like watch a replay of you building the park. So like, and you could like do it in time lapse kind of, because like, yeah, there's no way I can go back and like do a time lapse of me building that ride. Like it like there's just no way.
It's like Power Wash Simulator with their time lapse of
yeah.
Whenever you beat the level, it time lapses your progress.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving that. But yeah, other than that, really haven't been playing much. I have to say, ooh, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna hold my mouth. We're gonna talk about it later. But yeah. How's things going with Horizon Zero Dawn?
It's so good. It's so good. I love it so much. I think playing through even just the first one again, and like, because I beat it like a year or so, maybe not even like when it came out. So it's been a hot minute. I didn't play through it twice. I played it the one time, and I played Forbidden West like 3 times. But Zero Dawn is so good, and going back and remembering all the lore again and how it forms and just how freaking good the story is and the setup, and how every mission is an even cooler bit of information with a cliffhanger that just makes you think so much about what's like, oh wow, I kind of forgot how like intricate that was. And now I'm interested to see it again. Like I know what happens, but I think this is like really solidified that if Fable didn't exist, this would probably be like my favorite game series. It's the two of those together, because it's just so engaging in every way. The characters, the gameplay, the things that make me mad about it, like it's are things that it wouldn't be that game if it wasn't doing it. And yeah, Guerrilla just really did a number on my heart with these games. So, and the music, the music. Okay.
I knew that was coming. No, I love it. I love it.
It's so good. I'm almost at the end of the base game.
Awesome.
I've got like two. I think there's 22 main missions I was looking up because I wanted to try to make sure I
Sounds
beat
about
the
right.
Frozen Wilds before the main mission. So I looked up how many there were, and I've done 20 of them. So I'm almost done.
Yeah. Man, your love for her Horizon's awesome, man. It's great.
It's so good. It's so good.
But what I was gonna say is, wait, what was I gonna say? It was something to do with Horizon. Wow, I really don't remember. I lost it. Man, this is the second podcast in a row where I like lost my train of thought, and then we kind of just sat here for like a hot second, trying to remember what it was.
We podcast our way.
We podcast our way. That is correct. But low key though, every game, like, you love a game when there's like a couple parts that just get you a little bit angry. Like, you can't have a favorite game of all time if there's not at least one or two parts that just that make you like, oh my gosh. Like, why?
There are some things in this one that I'm like, this is why, man. Oh, okay. Ooh.
Man, I just can't wait for our top 10 character rankings where like half of them is Final Fantasy VII characters and half of them are Horizon characters. I can't wait for that.
They're not.
It's gonna be great.
I thought a little.
Oh, and he's gone. Yeah. So for our top 10 characters, guys, later in the episode, it's just like characters as a whole. So it could be like antagonists, it could be protagonists, it can be like side characters, it could be whatever. I mean, companions. Like, literally, if they are a character in video games, we may have them on our list, and that's kind of what we're going to be trying out. Not trying out. What we're going to be ranking. There he is. He's back. Oh, he's doing like big box, little box, cardboard box or something. Is that what you're doing?
Just the frame. Just framing.
Okay.
Just framing.
All right. You know. I see you. Yeah. All right. So let's.
My performance is fine. I'm looking right at.
Oh, that's funny.
It might drop again. It's been happening in twos, so I guess we'll see. And then it works fine for 15 minutes, so we'll see.
Let's talk about. Well, first of all, I was going to get out of the way because I have no idea if you're even interested. I think. Oh no, you're the one who says, well, if Troy Baker's in it, it has to be at least good. Indiana Jones.
He doesn't do bad work, man. He doesn't. He's
really
always
doesn't.
in a game that's good.
He really doesn't. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It got a 15-minute gameplay deep dive trailer yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago. I did a reaction to it today.
I have not watched yet.
Yes. I did a reaction to it today. Game looks really great. I'm very excited. I think what they showed is pretty much exactly what I was expecting. I just love, and this is what I said in my reaction at the end. One of my favorite things about a game like this is, and it also depends. One of my favorite things about gaming is what studio is making what. Like studios and development teams and developers can really sell a game for me. Like, I really pay attention to, like, I could care less about the IP, but if you slap like one of my favorite studios or just a studio that I've liked one of their previous game for, I'll be interested. I'll be into it. And this is one of those games where I kind of was feeling that, where it's like, okay, Indiana Jones, I don't really care about Indiana Jones, like, as a franchise or IP, but I love Machine Games. I think they've made some great games. I really enjoyed Wolfenstein. I'm definitely down. I'm definitely excited. But also, what I love is when a game, you can just tell there's a lot of passion put into it, and there is a lot of love and excitement for what they're making. What's so funny over there, huh?
At least I was straight faced when I lost connection, and it kind of looks like you can't tell.
Oh.
I was trying because I've got us pulled up on the phone, so when it loses connection, I try to look and see if you can tell. Because I realized I was straight faced, so I was trying to maybe see if you just, maybe if you just talk long enough and I reconnect, you won't be able to tell.
Wow.
But I don't have the volume up, so I can't hear you to see if you actually noticed. Anyway, sorry.
No, but you're good. Like, but one of my favorite things is like when when you could just tell a game has a lot of passion put into it. This is easily a game where, regardless if you're interested in it or not, or you like Indiana Jones or not, you can tell this game has a lot of passion and love and care put into it. You could tell the studio, which is Machine Games, they were excited to work on this because, and I brought this specific point up in the reaction. There is an ability that you can unlock in the game where if you go down, like if you lose all your health, if you die, instead of just dying and respawning, game over, trying again, you basically get to crawl around as Indy to find your hat. And then you pick up your hat, and he dusts off his shoulder. He puts the hat back on, and he's like, here we go again. Like, that is the most cool Indiana Jones thing, like, ever. And the thing is, that is definitely not a business corporate thing. Like, yo, you guys need to put that in the game. No, that is a round table filled with people who really enjoy Indiana Jones and want to make a game. And one of them was like, yo, wouldn't it be so cool if we had this thing in the game? Like, those are the things that you can tell that really make or break a game. Those small details, those small additions, because that just shows you they have passion, they have excitement for what they're working on. And that's what excites me about this game. It's not the fact that I like Indiana Jones, because I don't. It's not the fact that I think...
I've always been kind of hit or miss with Indy Jones.
Right. And it's not the fact that I think the gameplay looks, like, incredible. I think it looks fine. I genuinely just... I think it's going to be a high-quality product, and that's what excites me.
I do think the first person's kind of weird, in my opinion, I feel like, for it, but it also doesn't look bad in first person. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know, for it to be like a game that's definitely cinematic.
Right.
With obviously like showing the cinematics of like the moments within the game and within the story, and then pop into a first person view is, I feel like, kind of jarring. That's kind of like the one weird thing I think about the game. But other than that, I mean, everything that I've seen so far on it, the development, the interviews with some of the teams and the voice actors and stuff, like it seems like it's going to be a pretty, dang good product. So
yeah, for sure. And hey, since you bought Game Pass for a month, you'll actually be able to play it. It comes out on the 9th of December.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
There you go.
I'll get like a day.
No, you get like. Well, hang on.
It was 2 days ago.
Okay, so you'll have like 2 days. You'll have like 2 days.
Yeah, ish.
But no, Indiana Jones is looking really good. Releases December 9th of December. South of Midnight also got a lot of gameplay and a lot more information. So, Jordan, this is from Compulsion Games, which is the same studio that made, you might know this game, We Happy Few. It's like a really weird game. But yeah, this is their first.
That's the one where you're in the town. Where,
as like a little clown mask dude, kind of like.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like got a kind of like animated art style, kind of like a cartoony kind of like a Pixar type thing. Right. But this is easily their biggest game. This is I don't know if We Happy Few was AAA or not, but I'm gonna just say this is like their first AAA game. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, chat. But this is for sure their first game under Xbox's ownership, and this is their first game with obviously their budget funding. And this has been a game that we've waited for a while. I mean, We Happy Few was like, 2017, 2018, and it's now 2024.
I was just looking it up to make sure I was thinking of the right game. I was, by the way.
Yeah, and this game looks really cool because of its art style and because of just what it's going for.
2018.
Perfect, thank you. And what I will say is I've always been excited for the game. I definitely will say the initial gameplay showing of it looked good. It wasn't mind-blowing to me or anything, but I've always been excited. Number one, just because, I mean, Xbox is like my brand, even though I love it all. Xbox is always the one I'll choose over anything. But also just because I thought it looked cool, and I saw the potential. I saw the vision. So I was excited for it. But I was never like on the edge of my seat for it. I was never counting down the days. I was never like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like one of the best games of the year. I've always just kind of like, I'm excited to play that. I think it'll be good. But
It does look good. I said the little bit that I looked up before we went on looked pretty good.
yeah, but with this most recent gameplay stuff and with this most recent information that's come out in the last day or two, I have to say I was wrong. I was wrong. This game easily looks like it could be one of the best games of next year. I think this game looks fantastic. I think that this game looks stunning. This game has such a cool concept where it's entirely based on the deep south of America. So we're talking like Alabama, we're talking Georgia, we're talking like Florida, we're talking deep south. And it's going into folklore, it's going into like history, it's going into some crazy stuff. And I was watching like interviews and stuff today, and just some of the things that they were saying on how they're bringing the authenticity to life is just like, you can tell they're really trying to capture what they're going for. But then also just with its unique art style, with its gameplay, with just its characters and designs we've seen so far, everything is just screaming, this looks really great. This looks like it's going to be, this genuinely does look like it's going to be the next Hi-Fi Rush in a way, where it's going to kind of like, even though Hi-Fi Rush didn't have any marketing or lead up to it, it's kind of those things where like nobody knows what it is. It's a completely new type of thing, and people are kind of just going to get really attached to it and fall in love with it. I think that's going to be similar to this. I think it's going to be one of those new IP, smaller game darlings, and especially since they did confirm this is going to be a like 12-hour main story game. With like 20 hours for 100%. So you are looking for just one of those nice bite-sized games, which I think those are great. I definitely don't need every game to be like 100-hour experiences, even though those are also great. But
I do have a hard time playing anything but those.
You do.
The 100-hour
You do have
experiences.
an issue with
They
that.
tend to be what I gravitate to more than anything. So.
Well, hey, Dragon Age is it's a
It sure is,
beefy
especially
game.
to do it all, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beefy game right there. Especially if the replay value on that sucker is also really great. But yeah, this game looks spectacular. This has easily gotten me 10 times more excited, to the point where like I think it's like in my top 20 most anticipated games. Now you might be thinking top 20, okay, that's not all that impressive. Well, I have like a list of 50 here. And that's just my most anticipated games. It's not even just ones that I'm interested in or anything. So, you know, being in top 20 is very good. I mean, you're in the same likes of Stalker right now. You're in the same likes of Fable. You're in the same likes as Mass Effect, Gears of War. Like, very good achievement. Very good Johnny Murr stamp for you. But did you like that Johnny Murr stamp?
I did.
But yeah. Very good. I'm very glad that these it's also really weird that these two random Xbox exclusives, it's not like an Xbox event. There's no like Xbox Direct. Just randomly in the week, they're like, you know what, we're just going to show more of this game. Yeah. I love that. I love that a lot. Do you have any thoughts on Indiana Jones or South of Midnight?
Not really much additional than sort of what you said already. Like I said, my feeling on the voice acting behind it, like I said, the little bit of stuff that I've seen, as far as like the dev footage whenever they were announcing more stuff about it for the Indiana Jones game, looks good. Like I said, I just think, like I said, my one complaint is the cinematic game being first person seems weird, but it doesn't look like it's going to be weird.
Right.
It just, the concept of that is kind of weird to me. And like I said, as far as South of Midnight goes, I mean, like I said, the little bits of gameplay that I've pulled up and like saw from the demo, I mean, it looks like the gameplay is going to be really fun. Like I said, I think the character animation looks a lot like Valorant.
Yeah.
Which I was saying earlier. I think that like animation style is
one of the
similar.
Cool things about this game is it's entirely in stop motion as well.
Oh, okay, that's dope. I say it does look like it doesn't have like a quite flowy.
Yeah, it kind of looks like claymation in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but it looks really good. Combat looks awesome.
Yeah.
The character looks pretty dope actually. I'm a fan of badass female protagonists whenever they do well.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. It's everything Forspoken wishes it was. So,
Wow, you had to throw that one in there. That's crazy. Oh wow. Yeah. So real quick, there's one of the games that has been getting a lot of news recently that I want to talk to you about because I don't know if we've ever talked about this. I don't even know if you know about it. I'm sure you do though. Marvel Rivals. This game, I'm so excited for this. I am so excited for this game. Like I don't know if I've been this excited for a live service game in so long. Like or just a multiplayer game like this.
Yeah, I am aware of the game, but no, I've looked almost nothing into it.
Yeah, well, it comes out December 6th, I do believe.
I did see you posted an update or something. I guess they were adding somebody to the
Moon
lineup
Knight.
that you were.
They just announced they're adding Moon Knight to the roster, which
Okay.
is like one of my favorite Marvel characters. So I was super duper hyped for that. Dude, this game is gonna have so many characters. Like the fact that they keep on announcing characters before release.
Yeah, I've got a roster picture pulled up here.
There's so many characters.
This might not even be updated either, but
And
it looks like a pretty cool lineup.
Yeah, and I think they said somewhere that they're going to be releasing a character a month or something, which that's
Wow.
a lot of characters.
There's plenty of them, I guess.
Yeah,
that's a lot
there's
to
plenty
manage
to choose
too.
from for sure.
It's a lot to manage too.
I mean, I've heard so many great things about like playtesting, and obviously there was a beta like a couple months ago, and everyone was just loving it. And I've just been super duper excited because I think it looks great. I have a lot of friends who are wanting to play it, and that is so rare these days. And so I'm very, very excited. If you want to jump on board with us, we're going to get a full squad, bro. It's going to be fire. It's going to be fire.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the game looks awesome, but Moon Knight.
I'll look into it a little more, maybe sort of see if it's something I feel like I can vibe with.
Yeah, for sure.
As far as the gameplay goes.
Yep.
The context of the gameplay, I mean, I'm a fan of Marvel, so
it's basically a third person Overwatch. That's all you got to know. Yeah, third person Overwatch with Marvel. That's
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got in terms of like news really this week. I mean, Phil Spencer had an interview today, which he revealed a lot. Like, there's definitely gonna be more Xbox games coming over to PlayStation, which everyone is so thrilled about, universally praised for sure. Not. But then he also did announce that there is a Microsoft Xbox handheld in development. Like, so he officially confirmed it. Like, there is a handheld coming, but he did say it's still a few years away. So that's kind of unfortunate, but at least we finally got the confirmation.
Needs to be, if we're being honest.
Well, here's my theory, and I don't know if
Personally.
I've ran through this theory with you or if you heard it on one of my videos or other podcasts before, but there's been a lot of rumors for the past year that Xbox is actually going to jump the gun and get ahead of PlayStation this time around and release their next-gen console like 1 or 2 years before Sony. And so the rumor right now is 2026, whereas PlayStation is currently planned for 2027 or 2028. So if that 2026 rumor is true, that would also line up with the fact that Gears of War E-Day is also rumored to be 2026, which, I mean, if that's the case, that is a definite launch title. Like, you launch an Xbox with Gears of War. That is just no-brainer.
Yeah, that's huge.
And then also, everyone's been saying that they wouldn't be surprised if the strategy is they're going to release a handheld alongside the next-gen Xbox, kind of like the Series S and the Series X, how they always kind of launch, like, two different things hand in hand, whereas this time it's going to be a handheld, a console. And I think that would really work because, let's face it, Xbox is in third place, and I don't really see them going up in the rankings anytime soon. Therefore, they need to separate themselves. They need to differentiate themselves, and being the only main console, being PlayStation and Xbox with a handheld, jumping the gun, getting the next generation out earlier, with Game Pass, you're like the only company that has this kind of strategy working on this sort of level. I think all of that just lines up. I think all of it kind of just makes sense. And
A lot of hard work from the people at Microsoft, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And he did say a few years, meaning plural. So we don't know if that's 2, 3, 4, but it's definitely not 1. So if it is 2026, that is 2 years. That would be accurate with a plural word being used. But
sure.
We'll kind of just have to wait and see. But he also did say that they are open to more acquisitions. However, they are not looking at big acquisitions, which I think is good. I don't want them acquiring any more pub publishers. I think that was a whole fiasco that's come and gone. I do think they could be. I think it could be interesting if they acquire smaller studios, though. I think that could be really good. Especially, he said they're looking to expand in more geographical diversity. So they want Asian studios. They want like French studios. You get.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
Yeah, but yeah,
get some diversity and some different people from different places making things off different inspiration. Yeah,
for sure.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Yep, I 100% agree with you. But yeah, a lot of Xbox news this week.
Seems like it.
Indiana Jones, South of Midnight. Obviously, this Phil Spencer interview, and I have to say, for as much crap as Xbox get, I have to give them their credit. They've been having quite the stride. I mean, they had Black Ops 6. They had, or they're about to have Stalker 2. They're about to have Indiana Jones. They're about to have Flight Simulator. We're getting these new looks at games. They're being transparent with their communication. Phil Spencer literally did an interview answering a lot of heated questions. They're kind of doing a great job right now, I have to say. He also did state in his interview that business is healthier now, which I hope it is, seeming that you made a lot of crazy decisions earlier in the year to close studios, do a bunch of layoffs, and up the price of Game Pass and stuff. So I hope it's healthier now. I really do think they are kind of reaching a turning point. And I know I'm going to sound like a broken record because how many times have we heard this? Oh, they're reaching a turning point. But we have confirmed 2025 games. When was the last year we could say that as an Xbox fan? We have multiple confirmed 2025 games. We're getting great games right now, being Black Ops 6, hopefully Stalker 2, hopefully Flight Simulator, hopefully Indiana Jones. I personally have no doubt. Game Pass is thriving. The company's kind of being transparent. Will they actually stay true to what they say? Who knows? Only time will tell. But I have to give them their credit. They're doing a good job right now. They're doing a good job.
Yeah, it's been quiet.
Yeah,
I feel like a little bit. Not that they haven't been putting in work, and like I said, there is a niche community of people that are still fighting for Halo. I've mentioned that a couple of times. There are services that have life within Microsoft, but it's the efforts of them trying to turn some stuff around and some major title launches with more and more information every time they talk about it. They're not just saying the same stuff every time.
Right.
So it's I'm excited for it because the quietness is sort of what pushed me away a little bit from Xbox, as well as just the effort that Sony was putting in to develop these specific IPs for them. That's got to be stepped up a little bit for me to want to invest my time and money into getting this next gen system, because regardless of the new one coming out, we're still spending close to $400 or $500, and that's a big deal for some people still,
For sure. 100%.
So seeing the effort there to bring more people towards that decision is cool to see for the company.
I also just think a lot of good things have happened to Xbox also recently. Like Death Stranding's director's cut out of literally nowhere launched on Xbox 5 years after its an initial launch, being a PlayStation exclusive. That's a huge W for Xbox.
Such a good game, by the way. Please play.
I know.
Please play Death Stranding if you haven't.
Look,
it's such a good game.
I get it.
It's a hard game to beat. It is a hard game to beat. It is it is a game that you have to be so patient for. Oh, yeah. But if you are someone that loves a grindy game with a lot of lore and everything's a new take on it. Everything is in Death Stranding, and it's a delivery simulator. Okay, but it's also not, because once you get an establishment, you can build the roads and you can drive everywhere. You ain't got to walk nowhere after a while. Yeah. So you're walking everywhere for a while, but that's why you get better at the game. The game's so good.
It is.
The game's so good. Just play it. I could ramble on about how good it is for absolutely no reason, but it's just so good. Or just watch somebody play it. Honestly, even if you don't want to play it, just watch somebody that highlights the story and just take that in, because that part is so interesting. It makes no sense the first 2 hours of the game.
I would say
nothing makes any sense the first 2 hours of the game. But like once it clicks, it's like,
See,
it's so good.
That's what's interesting with Death Stranding, because I make a joke with Death Stranding. It's the longest game with one of the best stories, and even after you spend all that time with it, you still have no idea what's going on. Because
it's not
even though there are moments, like you just said, like certain things click where you're like, oh, at the end you're still gonna have just as many questions as when you started, not because questions weren't answered, it's because more questions keep arising, like the more and more you go into it. Like there are so many answers to so many questions that just get followed up with more questions. And
I can understand the amount of people that think that just makes it a bad game because it just nothing answers itself.
Right.
But like that's why there's another game coming. And
right.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's another game planned after that. Not necessarily that they're all going to be Norman Reedus, but Kojima is probably going to keep making stories till his brain bleeds. So,
oh my gosh, Kojima the GOAT, for real.
So yeah. Anyway,
no, I'm right there with you, man. But yeah, Xbox on a ride. Good for them. But I think that's honestly about it in terms of like news or just new things. We've already talked about what we've been playing. Stalker 2 review should be coming out here very soon, like within the next few days, or it'll probably be at the beginning of next week. It'll probably be like Monday of next week. But I know
there's a good amount of content creators looking forward to playing some of that on stream and stuff.
The game looks phenomenal. I have no doubt the game is gonna be
a lot of people pumped for that. It looks good.
Yeah, I have no doubt the game's gonna be anything short of phenomenal. I have so much confidence in that, and honestly, I hope it does well. Like they truly are the underdogs because they are a Ukrainian-based studio. So the game was announced in 2020. Originally was supposed to come out in 2022. Unfortunately, world events happened in Ukraine, and they've just gone through a whole lot of hard stuff. And even through all of that, they're still developing the game. They're still putting their heart and soul into it. They even made a documentary showing off like everything they've had to go through to get this game out the door. And it's just so heartwarming, the fact that they've actually gotten to this place. And they are so proud of this product. Like I genuinely just hope this game just blows out the water. Amazing for them. And it looks great. It really does look great.
It does.
But my interesting thing, and this is what me and Austin have said multiple times on multiple podcasts. We have so much confidence in this game. We would love it because it comes out next week. We don't know when the Game Awards like deadline is. Like
I think it misses the deadline by like 3 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Does it?
I think I saw something on the internet today actually that said somebody was asking about Game of the Year. And he was saying that his is probably metaphor, but he thinks Rebirth's going to win.
Yeah.
And that somebody in his chat said Stalker 2, and he said Stalker 2 misses the deadline by about 2 or 3 days.
Dang.
So,
but like, are we talking about the release of the game or like voting? Because like
release
technically,
so it would be up for next year.
Oh, okay. See, because I was gonna say technically critics are playing it now. Like, critics are playing it right now, and they're the ones who are going to be voting. So it's like maybe they're playing it right now, and they're like, "Oh, this game's a masterpiece. I'm voting for it like this year." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't believe it goes in for this year's.
Well, I'm gonna look this up real quick.
Sure.
Because I'm really curious, like what the like rules behind all this are. FAQ. Let's go to the FAQ rules. The award process. Here we go. What is the cutoff date for eligibility? Games eligible for the Game Awards this year must be available for public consumption on or before Friday, November 22nd. So it does make the cutoff because it comes out the 20th.
Oh, well.
At 9 p.m. PT. Titles that are released after this date will be eligible for the Game Awards ceremony in 2025.
Okay, then I guess it'll make the cut.
Oh,
so we'll see.
Snap.
So we'll see then.
Yo, I would love. Oh my god, can you imagine, dude? See, that's. I don't even care if it wins. I don't even care
Being
if I like the
nominated
game.
would still be cool from everything
Right.
it's come up from.
Right,
So.
like that would be truly like the underdog story right there in game.
Yeah, no. If it does well, like actually performs well and
Yeah.
gets reviewed well enough to be considered.
Yeah.
I mean, even considered is pretty crazy.
I mean,
so.
the fact that there's only been one. Well, there's been a couple stalkers, but like it's like a cult classic. Like it has like that very small fan base that actually have played the older games.
I did not play the original.
Me
so.
neither. But everyone's so hyped for Stalker 2, even though like very few people have actually played the originals. And the fact that it's been this big a struggle for the development, and it's just been such a story and such a ride for this game. If it just comes out and gets nominated, like what an underdog story, man. Like you can't help but just feel good about that. So yeah, I'm hoping for the best, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I'm very excited for Stalker 2 next week. But all right, shall we do our rankings? Shall we get to it?
I'm ready.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm ready.
We're gonna be ranking our top 10 video game characters. I'm not gonna say of old time because more games can come out and our list is gonna change. Like I don't know. Like
yeah, and I also probably wanted to specify that like I didn't necessarily probably go like favorite order unless you count like the top 3 or 4. Like
Okay.
some of them are just, ones that are probably definitely thrown in. If I really sat and like thought about some honorable mentions that I have in here too, they may even sort of beat them out. I've also got a couple reasonings for why I've got where they are versus some in honorable mentions. So, it's not necessarily, like I said, like this is pecking order of who gets shot
Right.
first.
no, I
like,
agree with you.
it's-
I'm pretty much right there with you. Like I definitely have a top 3.
Yeah,
But then like after that, like it really could change depending on the day.
right. Yeah.
So I don't really have them in complete order outside of the top 3. And then I do have
Okay.
honorable mentions.
I do too. I have 5.
Yeah. So just to go off like guidelines, guys, this can be antagonist, protagonist, main character, side character, supporting character, companion, sidekicks, whatever, NPCs. It could really be whatever. If it's a character in a video game, they are eligible. Or a creature in a game. Like it could be literally anything. But we do have our top 10, and we do have some honorable mentions as well. And yeah, we are going to give our reasonings for all this. It's going to be a nice discussion just about characters. Because, and here's what I'll say, but before we get started, I've had this conversation with multiple people, and I stand on business when I say this. I genuinely do think the most important thing about any story is its characters.
For sure.
And not only do I think just the story, I think one of the most important things in anything, whether it's movies, whether it's a book, whether it's games, I do genuinely believe one of, if not the most important thing, is its characters. I am not going to Mario games every single time because of Mushroom Kingdom. I'm going back because Mario, because Bowser.
Because I can't wait to jump on Koopas.
Exactly.
That's not always why I'm going back. Yeah.
Right. Like, it's the character. Like, if you were to give me a Mario game without the Mario characters, it would just be another platformer and everyone would look away. But because it's Mario with those characters, that's what makes it so special.
Yeah.
Uncharted, you know how many different adventure, globe-trotting things there are in the world, but Uncharted stands out as one of the best because of the characters. Like,
Yep.
and there's a reason why there's so much controversy behind Ghost of Yotai, because it's not using the same character. Characters
none of
are
them.
genuinely like so important. I think one of the most, if not the most important thing about a game's story or
But that's
concept
why
or
it's not
whatever.
Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Exactly. So characters are huge, man. Characters really are everything in a lot of senses. But yeah. So let's get started. So who wants to go first?
I was gonna ask, are we gonna like flip a coin? Do we?
Let's do it. Siri, hang on. Heads or tails?
I'm gonna go tails.
Siri, flip a coin.
If we win, do we choose or do we go first? What do we do? What do we say?
Tails.
You go first.
Okay.
I picked to choose
Okay. I'm gonna do my honorable mentions first.
first.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my honorable mentions first.
I was gonna do mine last.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. You know what?
I was.
Fair enough. Okay. Okay. We will then.
Yep.
So the first one I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get like the most obvious one out the way. Kratos. Kratos is in
Okay.
my top 10.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, he number one, he's so cool.
He's
so,
the god of war.
he
Yeah.
is the god of war. He's so cool. He has definitely one of the best character arcs in like recent generations or just recent years. And I generally just think he carries so much emotional weight to him, and he carries so many different layers to him.
Yeah.
Like he genuinely is such a well written character. And then obviously he's cool. Like he's so awesome. Like
Yeah.
the red stripe on his face is so iconic. His weapons, iconic Chaos Blades or Blades of
Chaos Blazer.
Leviathan
yeah.
axe.
Those are.
I mean, come on. This dude's got it all. Like he is.
Being able to use them both was quite the experience in
Oh,
2018.
Yeah,
That was.
and then you get a spear in Ragnarok too.
Yeah,
What is-
Ragnarok. Yeah, the
What is that
spear's
one
awesome.
called? What
I
the
forget what they call the spear actually.
the Delvian spear or something like I don't know. It was something.
Something like
that.
something that sounds familiar, but
Or it's like a ring. No, it's a ring, isn't it?
it's
I
a
don't
ring.
know.
But yeah, like
You
he
know.
stomps and it goes into the spear.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, that's so cool. But then, like, just the fact that this dude, like, I think the argument's there. Honestly, I'm gonna just say I do think he is PlayStation's mascot currently.
Okay, I would. Yeah, I as far as like persistence, I would probably say so because obviously they've been making God of War since PS2.
I think
I believe is when they first started.
I think the biggest competition for that statement would be honestly Astrobot, and
Yeah.
no, I think that's it. Honestly, like I would say Aloy.
I would
don't
say
know-
Aloy.
I don't know
but-
about mascot, but I don't know. That's a hard one. That really is a hard one. I mean, I guess Spider-Man.
I would
but that's
definitely
not a
say like
PlayStation mascot, but-
the main title character. You could argue for Kratos. Honestly,
Nathan Drake, kind of in a way.
I was gonna say you could say Nathan Drake, or I mean, if you really wanted to, I mean, it's two titles, but I mean Ellie and Joel, honestly, kind of surprisingly
that's a
enough.
good one. I didn't think about that one.
There's a lot of people that Last of Us like is the game for them. So even though it's the
Yeah.
one title that because and again everybody's certain people are on the fence about title 2. But the first one is like the greatest game in the world to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So depending on the fact that they keep remaking it, they now it's a freaking TV show. Like the popularity of like what that's done is I think could stand there. But do you necessarily call that the mascot, or is that just the best success?
Right.
So that's another conversation for another.
Or do you just call it
podcast,
the
I feel
best
like.
character?
So,
Like like
sure, yeah.
because I do think like if I'm thinking of mascots, I'm thinking like the tiger from Frosted Flakes. I'm thinking of like
Right.
the M&Ms, right? So I'm like Astrobot.
Yeah,
low-key
something you're
fits
constantly
that.
thinking of.
You know what? Like so, Astrobot's like that in a nutshell. But like I don't think Astrobot's big enough to be their mascot yet.
No, should be.
He should be. Facts. He should be.
Should
but,
be. Should be. Play more Astrobot. Play Playroom. Play Astrobot. Play them all.
Platinum. Platinum.
Platinum all. I'll do my number 10, I guess.
Sure. I don't know if Kratos is my number 10. It's just it was the last one I thought of. On my top.
Sure. Okay. But I'll go. Like I said, I'll go with. I did go down because the top ones are kind of favorite, but just calling it 10 for the sake of having the list. I'm gonna go Jack of Blades. From the original Fable.
Wow. Okay.
He is the antagonist of the original Fable.
Oh, he's just that guy. Okay.
Yeah. His design I thought was really cool.
That's right. I was
his
thinking of the, like, teenager on the cover of
he is the only like persistent bad guy in the first one. So even whenever they made the extension to being the Lost Chapters after you beat him, he is still the bad guy. He is reincarnated, and that 2.0 battle of him is incredible. Because you fight him as a dragon. So the game's been out a long time. Either play it or don't. But
Please play it.
You fight him as a dragon, and it's such a cool boss battle. And like I said, I just really enjoyed his design, and the choice that you get at the end of the Lost Chapters to wear his mask or not wear his mask sets the tone for the rest of your after game playthrough. As far as being like, because once you put his mask on, like merchants won't sell to you, people run away from you, like you're pure evil. So it's just cool. He's an awesome character that just set a tone for me. Not even necessarily that he's a great character. He just set a sort of standard for me, like with Fable being like so much of like what it means to me, and having to deal with him again when doing the last chapters. It was like, oh, it's freaking this guy. Like,
yeah, no, I get.
I thought I dealt with you. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? But
No,
yeah. So like I said, he's definitely the first. Well, it wasn't definitely the first one I thought of, but he was up there. I was like, Jack of Blades, got to get him there.
Cool, awesome. Real quick question: how many honorable mentions do you have?
5.
Oh, okay. Then I'm adding more. I'm adding more.
And I wasn't going to ramble on about some of them. Like I said, I was just going to mention them and why they're there.
Okay,
so
cool. Well,
I wasn't gonna do like 2 paragraphs on each one, but
cool. Alrighty. My next one. I'm sorry. This one cracks me out because like I don't think you would ever know who this is. Rico Rodriguez.
No, not off the top of my head. I don't. Who is
He
that?
is the Just Cause guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I did not play the Just Cause games.
Oh man, dude!
I've watched gameplay of 3 and 4, like just like people playing 3 and 4, just messing around, but I've never played them myself.
Just Cause truly is my guilty pleasure game. Like, they are so bad, but it's so good.
You like 3 or 4 better?
I like 4 better, but 3 is the better game.
Okay.
Like, I'm not even gonna cap. Like, 3's better. Kind of visually as well. Like, I think
sure.
Like, visually the game's better. Like, 4. I don't know.
My next
really
character also sort of applies to that.
Yeah, like Just Cause really is my guilty pleasure, and just it's so much fun. Like it's just pure joy.
You're Rico in all the games, aren't you?
Yeah. You're Rico Rodriguez, and he's just the guy where if you just want some dude to crack some stupid jokes about blowing things up, about using these crazy weapons, about doing all these cool stunts, and you just want to have so much fun while doing it, and he has a cool design, like this is your guy. Like he is the definition of walking away from an explosion and looking cool while doing it. Like, and it's just, he also has like an accent. He has like a, I don't know what you call it, like a, I don't want to say Mexican accent, but he has like a Puerto Rican accent, I would say. But like, the deliveries are just so, they're just peak. They're peak. Like, one of my favorite lines ever is like, in Just Cause 4, there's a mission where like you and your little crew are trying to figure out how to disable this fortress's barrier, and the techie in your crew is like, well, we need to disable these heat signature thermal PTS ABCs numbers galore, all these weird terms, right? And Rico just goes, he looks so confused, and then just goes, "What if we put a big gun on it instead?" And literally, that is what everyone's thinking. Everyone's thinking, what are you talking about right now? Like, I just want to blow something up. And Rico's like, what if we just put a big gun on it instead? I'm like, that. Now you're talking.
Love it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right to the point.
Yes. I love this dude.
Just Cause.
Yes. This dude's everything I aspire to be. Let me tell you. But he also just has such cool gadgets. Like, he has the wingsuit. He has the parachute. He has like this grappling gauntlet on his arm. Like, it's, oh man, he's so cool. And the game is so fun, and he just makes it all the more special. That's what a good character is. It just turns an already fun game or good game into something special.
Sure.
I don't think Just Cause would necessarily. It would definitely still be Just Cause, but I think Just Cause is heightened because of Rico.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, my next one is Voss from Far Cry 3.
Nice.
Such a good villain. Far Cry 3 was the first Far Cry that I played. I didn't play the first two.
Same.
And I've played all of them. I never beat 6, but I've played all of them other than the first two. Well, I tried to play 2 after 3. It was terrible. Me personally, I didn't have a good time with it. But 3, 4, and 5, I played them and their expansions. All fun. But Voss is just a character that every time you see him in game, I mean, it's just, you're about to get just this psychotic, twisted experience with this just truly evil person. Mm-hmm. Like that's just what he is. He is just a bad guy, and there's just everything with his delivery, the psychosis, like drug trip that you go through, like with him in it, like screwing with your mind, like is just crazy. And, the fact that he repeats the same line over and over again about doing the same thing over and over again, like it's just so well done, so well written, so well performed. And that was the thing where I was saying, like, Far Cry 3 is the better game, but I had more fun playing 4. Like, because there was gameplay stuff in 4 that I liked a little more than 3, but 3 is the better game.
That's exactly how I feel with Just Cause. That's exactly how I feel.
Right. So yeah, that's like I said, I think that's my simple explanation of Voss there. But yeah, no, he's just so good. Pagan Min's good from 4. I enjoyed Pagan Min.
I think all the Far Cry villains look great.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of gradually, I liked them a little less as they went on. Juan Carlo doing the guy for 6 was very cool, Esposito. Like cinematically.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gameplay was just kind of fizzled for me after like 10 hours, so I didn't really keep going.
Yeah.
For 6, so
2 back-to-back antagonists for you.
Yeah.
Giving them their I low-key think I only have 1 antagonist on my list.
That's fine.
Yeah. Nope, never mind. I have oh my gosh, I'm capping. I have 3. What am I talking about?
I have 3 also, so.
All right, my next one. I think what order I want to go with here. I'm going with my heart's telling me here. All right. Sub-Zero.
I kind of expected you to go higher.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like
with Sub-Zero.
The thing with characters, there's a lot of different approaches you could take with characters. Do you go for the design aspect? Do you go for the coolness aspect? Do you go for the like attachment aspects? Do you go for the emotional? Do you go for their track record like in games? Like there's a lot of different approaches you can go for this, and Sub-Zero genuinely is the fact that he's so cool, and just the fact that he's like the guy I learned in like every Mortal Kombat game, so I'm just so like attached to him. Like it's a complete personal attachment. And I just love his design. It really is character. Just that. Like, it's not even that I can tell you, like, he has such an incredible backstory. I mean, it's cool. It's not, like, anything groundbreaking.
The narrative the narrative they put behind him by giving him, like, so much love for, like, the lore of the Mortal Kombat series, I thought was, like, a really cool take on his story. What I do know, it's little. I forget it after I see it, usually, but I remember finding it very interesting while playing the games and watching the games being played. The love they were given to him was awesome for a cool character. Him and Scorpion both, like I said, I kind of had an equal love for them as a kid. I know we were talking a little bit earlier. You were saying that you liked him more than Scorpion.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed those characters a lot. I wish he would have got a little bit more love in that original movie. As far as like the scene that he was in and the setting, that's what sets the tone for me. I
know. It's just funny.
Again, it's I'm old, so that's how it is. But yeah.
But like the moment I realized I love Sub-Zero is when he was my favorite character, and he wasn't even in his own game. in Injustice 2, the Sub-Zero Injustice 2 is easily my favorite fighting game character in any fighting game ever. Like, his moveset, his, like, every time you, like, complete one of those towers and then you, like, get, like, a cool little, like, cutscene at the end of it with whatever character you ended up using. I thought that was so cool. Like, him talking about entering a new realm and he's gonna, like, just destroy all these characters. I'm like, bro, this dude is so dope. Like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah, he genuinely just, he's on the list because I love fighting games. It's one of my favorite genres, and he's easily my favorite character in the whole genre. So I just have such a huge attachment to him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, we're going to just stay on trend. We're going to just stay on trend. Number 8. This one, like I said, I would probably put it higher. That's why I said, like, you know, these aren't necessarily like in order. These
aren't solidified
first
orders.
few.
All right.
But this one, I'm going to go ahead and go with my man Sephiroth.
Okay.
So Sephiroth, I not only just is an interesting character simply because of the story built around him.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the sort of mystery of his lore that you learn while playing the original game, the bigger life that they're bringing to it with the remake and the Rebirth games too, is just done so well. Obviously, the character, you know, animations have only gotten better with him over the years with Advent Children and Crisis Core and all the other games that they put him in. Even now with Ever Crisis, trying to make him a good, like, you know, trying to show like his good guy days.
Or Crisis Core, you mean?
No, Ever Crisis.
Oh, the chibi one, kind of.
The other one that they're doing. I don't know if it's like a service game or like what, but they're doing like a young Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Like look at it, and maybe it's not Ever Crisis. It might be called something else.
I think Ever Crisis might. That sounds right.
But, you know, it's just, you know, and obviously just this in general character design of him with like the black wing and the sword, which I always forget the name of it. I remember it and then forget it. But his freaking katana is crazy that he's got. That just that long
Masamune
sword is Masamune. Yes, I always forget it. It's just so good. His voice acting, Japanese, English, whatever, is always just done so well. He's such a intimidating character while also being so clean cut. You know, like there's just something like ruggedly intimidating about him because of the power that you know he has.
For sure.
And yeah, it just he really stands out to me. And that's going to end my villain streak there. But yeah. Good old Sephi boy.
Cool. So you thought my last one or my last two were complete personal picks, different attachments. This next one's about to blow your socks off.
Okay.
Bowser Jr.
Ooh, okay.
He is like he's the only character on my list that like has basically no story around him. I mean, he has like Mario lore.
Sure.
But you don't get any of that in like the main games really, like at all, unless you really go searching for it. He genuinely just is. I just love his design, and he's just the one I always pick in Mario Party. He's the one I always pick in Mario Kart. He's he just. I really don't have an explanation. I just love Bowser Jr. I think he's cute.
I love it.
Even though he's like an evil little dinosaur dude, I think he's adorable. And I think he's so funny. I love his little bib that he wears. It's like a baby would wear bib, but he turned into like this mean-looking smile. I'm like, this dude's cool. He uses a paintbrush. Like, who the heck's going to use a paintbrush? Like, I don't know. It's a complete personal pick. Like,
he is a cool character.
Yeah, I loved whenever he was basically your partner in Bowser's Fury, the game, because like that's like the most spotlight he's ever gotten. Where like player 2 could literally be Bowser Jr. and I'm like, this is amazing. This is amazing. I also love he's like the main antagonist of the Yoshi game on the Switch, so I also love that. But yeah, I also just love the little cup that that he rides around in. Like
he flies around and say
I
that
got this.
he's got the little mount. Yeah. Oh, do you have one? I love it.
do. It's so awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, no, that's
I
cool.
love Bowser Jr. Like he always just he's like a dog, kind of like all the little dogs always feel like they're the big tough dogs. They like stand on business. He kind of feels the same way, but then he gets clapped every single time. But Austin says Junior is greater than Bowser. I completely agree. I also love Bowser, but I mean Bowser Jr. is just my goat, low key.
Yeah.
He's great. Also, even though this isn't him particularly, he's like the leader of the Koopalings in a way, which are all the other like juniors
Right.
in the game, and so yeah, I don't know. Bowser Jr. just he has, you know what it is? He has a lot of just personality, a lot of characteristics about him that I like. Austin just put Junior is greater than Bowser again, just on YouTube instead of Twitch. What are you doing? All right, but yeah, I love Bowser.
I like it.
Jr., man. I love him.
I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, let's see. We did Sephiroth. Oh, okay. Next one.
Yeah.
Going back to high school for me is where I met this cat. We're going Captain Price from Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We're going Call of Duty 4. So the original Modern Warfare, where we get to play the story and meet him for the first time. Tango 6 going dark. They keep bleeding Captain Price dry, and I'm still not mad about it. I love seeing him in every single iteration that they've done of Modern Warfare, how much they highlight him, how much he just is the title character for Modern Warfare. You could say it with like Soap and Ghost too, with some of them. Soap! But, you know, to me,
not ready
to
for
me,
that.
Price is just, you know, so good. He's just such a good character. He's got his cigar. I'm never gonna forget that the image is burned in my brain of that mission where you're on the helicopter in Call of Duty 4, and it's raining like crazy. You're going to that freaking barge mission, and Price is just sitting there smoking that cigar, and it lights up, and he throws it out the window, and it's just, we're playing Call of Duty. You know, it's just so good. So yeah, that's
awesome.
He's gonna take that
Call of Duty
spot
getting
for me.
some love. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Just a little bit,
bro,
bit. Not, you know.
Call of Duty campaigns.
Black Ops 6 is fun. I was saying earlier, I've been
man.
playing multiplayer. It's fun.
Bro, Call of Duty campaigns, when they're good, low-key underappreciated, bro. Like, there are so many great Call of Duty campaigns. Like, don't let recent entries being trash confuse you. Like, there's some banger campaigns. My favorite is World War II. I know that's, like, no one else's favorite, but, like, I
know there's a huge controversy behind who's in it, but the Advanced Warfare story is actually so good.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah,
because of the bad guy cast in there, but, you know, again, it's you know, there's nothing we can do about it now. Like I said, if you can separate the art a little bit from it in that moment and just experience that game, Advanced Warfare is such a fun game.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I know that was it was a mixed bag for some, but I had a blast playing Advanced Warfare. So the multiplayer too. I actually love the multiplayer on Advanced Warfare. So.
Infinite Warfare's campaign was the only thing people talked about in a positive light, apparently, Austin says. I do hear that as well, that the Infinite Warfare campaign was pretty great.
Infinite Warfare, I actually didn't play much of that. Call of Duty was kind of in the dark for me for a while when I was...
Though Infinite Warfare was like... pretty much started the whole dark times of Call of Duty in a way. Like, that was like the beginning of...
Honestly, after like Black Ops 2, I just kind of stopped playing them for a while.
Black Ops 4 was like the last one where I'd say like
Black Ops 2 we played a whole bunch. I played Advanced Warfare a little bit when it came out, and then until like 2019 Modern Warfare, like I just didn't play them for a while. Yeah. So
all right, cool. Oh, so now we reach an interesting point, because whoever I say next doesn't make my top 5. And I don't know if I can live with either of these people not being in my top 5, but one's going to have to go here.
That's fair.
Oh, man. And the thing is, I think I got to go with my heart here.
Okay.
Sometimes it's better just not overthink it Don't think too much. Just go with
rip
your
the Band-Aid
initial
off.
heart instinct. Alan Wake.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going with Alan Wake. Alan Wake.
I was wondering if you were gonna throw the title character into it, or if it was more of just the game for you. For me, so
No,
I
it
was
definitely
curious where
is-
your list was gonna go.
No, I mean Alan Wake is just he's number one. He's so funny. First of all, I know if you don't like look at memes or social media in any way, you'll be like, how is Alan Wake funny? It's because of the memes and just because of jokes that like friends and everything make. Like the fact that Austin just put it in chat. If you had headphones on, you'll just hear in your ear, wake. And people just start screaming wake. And just the fact that like he narrates a lot of the game. And so like you'll open a door and then all of a sudden Alan will just be like, in my writing became reality. He opened the door and he walked through. And I'm just like, bro, you did not have to do that. But it's so
So he's
funny.
just he's live performing his own voiceover.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, all by himself too. Because if you think about it, he's just in like a dark attic room, like so he's literally just doing that narration voice to himself in a way.
Right.
But not only that, but he just his like design, his mocap, his voice actor, everything is just he's such a vibe. Like he is like he's easily I think like one of the just best vibe horror characters like ever. And I just love his story and how complex it is. And this is where my list starts to change from like, okay, do I have just a personal attachment to it, or like was I genuinely blown away by their story and like how they were used in the product and the art. I think Alan is just such an interesting character. I think there's just a lot of depth and a lot of things to unpack with him. I think he genuinely is like the anchor of the franchise. Like he's just such an interesting character. Like Control is definitely bigger than both of the Alan Wake games, maybe even combined. Like Control is a huge game. Control was like majorly successful commercially, critically, and everything. But like Jesse, I don't feel like is as of right now a important / like influential character when it comes to the Remedyverse. Whereas Alan, I mean, Alan is Alan. Like he really is the focal point of everything. He's the reasoning for everything. He's the reason it all started.
Right.
And when you realize how big this story is and how complex it is and how much bigger it's about to get with Control 2 finna be a masterpiece, Alan's special. He's so special, and I absolutely love him. I had to do it. But see, that's the thing. He didn't even make my top 5, and that hurts because I love him so
It's
much.
okay.
But
everything's subject to change down the line.
it'll all make sense when you hear my top 5.
Right. No,
that's what
fine.
I'll say.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
All right. So my number 6 then.
My writing became reality. Jordan was about to tell me his 6th favorite character of all time.
Yes, he was. Axel Steele from Guitar Hero 3.
I respect it. I respect
Axel
it.
Steele from Guitar
I
Hero
respect
3. He was always the character that I chose to go as.
My writing did not
mainly-
become reality. I had no idea he was about to throw in a Guitar Hero character.
Sure did. Mainly because you could make him look like Dimebag Darrell. If you don't know who Dimebag Darrell is, he was the guitarist for Pantera, who died December 8th, 2004. And
Sorry.
Alan Wake 2. There you go. I love it. But yeah, I always tried to play as Axel Steele because I thought he was cool. Big buff dude who wore like camo and like jean shorts, wore a jacket. But yeah, you could make him doll up with the different outfits and we give him the pink goatee like Dimebag had, and that was just it just stood out to me. I was just sitting there sort of thinking like, man, you know, like what games really meant a lot to me, and Guitar Hero 1, 2, and 3 were ones I couldn't put down whenever they were out. So yeah, and I always picked Axel Steele as my character. So
Do you know what rhymes with wake? Cake.
Lake. Hey,
I got cake.
why do you have a cake?
I asked my mom to make it because
Oh, nice.
I wanted some cake.
Is it strawberry?
No, it's like funfetti.
Oh, okay. So the birthday party
Yeah,
funfetti
yeah,
cake.
birthday party. Yeah.
Nice.
There's no icing on it.
Bring me some.
Bro, I got you. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, Axel Steele. He's gonna take that spot for me. Just a quick one.
Cool.
Nothing too crazy, but you know.
All right. Time for my
Love 'em.
top 5.
All right,
Where
let's
things
go.
get serious, bro. This is where things get serious. And who do I put first? Okay, I'm going with my heart. I'm going off this person who I could have had in 6 is making an incredible run, and it's just because I'm going with my heart. We're not
Okay.
gonna get to them yet because they're not even gonna be number 5. They're making a push all the way to 4 because number 5, in my opinion, is the video game villain, and you cannot change my mind. And that is Sephiroth. It is Sephiroth. Sephiroth. I mean, I don't know outside of Bowser if like there is any other like maybe Dr. Eggman. If there's any other like antagonist that plays the role of villain better than Sephiroth. Like he is like one of the most iconic.
Love him.
He is one of the most developed. He's one of the most complex. He's one of the most layered. He's one of the coolest. Like definitely, if you went in a mall and asked 100 people, who do you know more, Bowser, Dr. Eggman, or Sephiroth? Eggman and Bowser will probably get more votes. But like, I think when you're looking at it from a story standpoint, when you're looking at it from like just what the character is, I do personally will say I think Sephiroth is like the ultimate video game villain. He has one of the most simplistic but effective weapons ever in the Masamune. He has like one of the coolest theme songs ever. Like
One Winged Angel is
yeah,
incredible.
like he really just encapsulates everything you want out of an antagonist. And I mean, he means a lot to the story. He's a focal point of it.
Especially now. He means even more now. He means even more now.
Yeah. And I think what's so special.
And that's a lot to unwrap.
And I think what's so special about Sephiroth, and this is kind of
His
going to
hair.
spoil the rest of my list, is I generally do believe Final Fantasy VII has one of the best groups or cast of characters as a whole. And Sephiroth is my favorite out of that. There are so many great characters in Final Fantasy VII, and he somehow stands tall above all the other ones, even though I think all of them are so great. I think that's what's so special about Sephiroth is even in such a crowded market, crowded competition, he just gains my personal attachment more.
Love it.
And yeah, I just love Sephiroth. Also, he's like my favorite Smash character outside of Bowser Jr.
That's fair.
And yeah, in a lot of ways, he's responsible for my love for JRPGs or just Final Fantasy or just like RPGs even. I mean, like,
Right.
yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy VII is like the JRPG. Like, that's like the one that really blew up the JRPG scene. But yeah.
I love it. I love to see it. Love to see 7 getting love.
He had to
man.
make
You know
my
it.
top 5. That's why I had to push Alan down because I was like, Sephiroth, he's like the video game villain. Like,
It's so good.
he's so cool. Like, even though I love Alan and he's so funny, I'm just like, Sephiroth. Just he's too much of a boss to just
For sure. Literally.
not.
Literally. All right. Well, moving on to my number 5. So we're getting into the gritty now. I'm gonna start with similar hair. The White Wolf himself, Geralt of Rivia.
Oh,
Throwing him at number 5.
Okay.
The Witcher 3. I will admit I didn't play the original 2. I'm really excited to see what the remake or remasters or whatever they're doing for 1 is going to be like. I cannot wait to play that. I also have The Witcher 3 downloaded on my PlayStation to play that within the next couple of months again. But the story is just so good. I think it took me about 85 hours or so to like fully beat it that first time. I did the typical Yennefer romance that a lot of people try to go through with it. The side quests are also good. We can rave about The Witcher, but Geralt is just such a fun character. I mean, his little, even the things that they meme about him, where you're just walking, he's just like, the wind's howling. All right, cool, thanks. Thanks. But he's just being dead serious. Just doing his thing.
Sounds like Alan in the like open world RPG form.
Yeah, he just talks. Yeah, just talks to himself. Easy, Roach. Roach is just we're just galloping. We're not doing nothing. Like, we're not doing anything yet. Why are you hollering? Just iconic, man. The Witcher themes, the voice acting with it, the character connection that you have with it while doing it. It's a game that's so big. With the gameplay style is like, you're so very used to almost having like a character creator and that sort of game where like there's just so much extra side stuff to do, and there's different endings and there's different kinds of romances. You're just so used to like building your own character in that world, and it just plops you with Geralt and you don't mind.
Right.
You just really don't, because of how just good he is as a character. He is the Witcher. His dynamic with everybody, no matter whether you go the nice route or the evil, I'm just gonna be mad at everybody route. It's just so good, so well done.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So yeah, Geralt falls there for me. I love it.
I have a lot of respect for The Witcher 3, and which is funny because I personally have never been able to get into The Witcher. I've tried playing the game. It's just unfortunately been unable to grab me. Granted, I haven't tried playing it since like 2021, and I've played.
It took me years to try it.
Maybe
I took it back at launch. Whenever it came out.
Yeah. I think over time I'll eventually get into it. I probably whenever the next one's announced, because I'll be like, okay, well now I got to go back and play the other ones. But
I highly recommend, especially now, because you can get the deluxe one with like the DLCs and everything on it too. Because one of the DLCs is like almost as long as the game itself. So yeah, there's tons of stuff to it. I actually have never played the DLCs. I've only finished the main game and a lot of the side stuff. So like I still need to play both of the DLCs, Blood and Wine, and there's another one too. But yeah, so good.
Wow, awesome. All right, my number 4. Unfortunately, this is where their push is gonna end. They're not making top 3 as much as I would love them to. They're not gonna do it.
Jack and Dexter,
dude, goated.
Ratchet and Clank.
So this one is probably going to be the biggest plot twist out of my whole list. I don't think, unless you're one of my very close, unless you're one of my,
it was a pretty left turn.
Okay, true. But unless you're one of my very close friends, you don't know exactly how I feel about this character. This will be my first character from a franchise that is already on my list.
Okay, some repeats, yeah.
It is Saga Anderson from Alan Wake 2.
Okay. Is that the lady cop?
It's the FBI lady.
Yep. Yeah. I was actually going to ask you her name earlier, because I every time I look up pictures, I always forget there's 2 characters in the game.
Yep, and
because you play as both, right?
You do.
I haven't played Alan Wake 2 either. I understand I really need to play a lot of games. Anybody that may watch this and be like, this guy didn't know anything.
Bro, okay.
Listen,
we should do this thing. Hold up. Okay, so like, we're about to go way off the topic here for a second. I'm doing this thing with another friend. Me and him are going to start this thing very soon. Where he's going to come over like one day every other week or whatnot. I'm going to do... he wants me to do anime reactions, like the openings and stuff. His name's Isaiah, by the way, for everyone watching. You guys know Isaiah as well. But he wants me to do like reactions to anime because I've never like seen a bunch of it, So it'd be like my
Right.
first time seeing a bunch of animes. So I told him, what if when you come over every other week, I'll do my first time reacting to animes if you play some games for your first time ever when you come over. So it's like, so this week he's going to come over. I'm probably going to have him play Dragon Age, honestly, because he's never played a Dragon Age. So I'll be like, you know what, here you go. Try out Dragon Age. So it'll be pretty awesome. We should do something like that.
That'd be cool.
Be fire.
Try to make something like that work one night, yeah.
Yeah.
Or do like a stream where we're both on camera somehow, and like you got me playing Alan Wake or something on stream.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We can make something like that work. We'll have to brainstorm with that. But yeah, Saga Anderson, man. This genuinely goes back to what honestly we were kind of talking about last week about go into a game completely open-minded. It's okay to have certain expectations, but don't set yourself to an opinion expectation when it comes to like how you feel about something, because you may end up being proven completely wrong, or you may end up being proven completely right. This character is one of those reasons that I stand by that, because obviously in a game like Alan Wake 2, where the first game was only this one character, and we're getting a sequel to that, you expect it to be all about that same character. Yeah. But a completely new character enters the fray, and she completely steals the show, in my opinion. For me personally, I definitely think I'm in the minority there. I will say, because Alan Wake's just so iconic. He's so funny, and he's so like just relatable and everything. But for me, what really gets Saga the upper edge for me is just how much I can relate to Saga Anderson as a character, and just her story in the game. It's not like, okay, it's not like I have a kid, I'm a mom. Like I can't relate on that level. I can't relate to like I'm an FBI agent. Right. The role she plays in the game is what makes me fall in love with her, because Alan Wake 2, for a lot of people, was going to be their very first time playing an Alan Wake game or a Remedy game or anything, right? So you're kind of going into this completely blind, and keep in mind, Alan Wake has an insanely complex, over-the-top story. So you're going to be really confused, you're going to be asking a whole bunch of questions, and you're going to be on the edge of your seat trying to figure out what the heck happens next or what the heck's going on. And that is the exact character Saga Anderson is. They use Saga Anderson as the bridge between new and returning players for this complex story. And she's a detective. So it's like she's trying to piece all these things together while the player ourselves are also trying to do the same thing. And so you kind of just relate to her on a whole nother level. You'll get to these scenes where something weird happens, and you're like, what the heck is going on? And then 5 seconds later, Saga will be like, what is happening? I'm like, I feel the exact same way. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And I think there's just a lot of things that she does that you can just relate to as a player. Not necessarily like one for one, you have the same lives or anything, but like from a story standpoint, I think she just, oh my gosh, I don't know what the heck that was. There's so much quality and just things.
You drop your cake?
I have no idea what just happened, to be honest with you. She just brings so much to the game, and she adds so much to the game. And
that's cool.
Yeah, and the fact of it is it's crazy that she was my favorite character out of a game that it's not even about her. Granted, now it is.
That's cool though, you know.
Yeah. And I really just think she brought so much to the table. I think the actress, Melanie something, I forget the last name. Melanie, I'm not even going to try and remember it. I don't want to say anything wrong, but her first name is Melanie though, or Melanie. I don't know how to pronounce it. But she is fantastic in the role. She has a power where she goes
Melanie
into
Liburd.
Yes. That's right. I was gonna say Sigurd, but I'm like, that doesn't sound right. But she has this
Is she
power.
British in the game?
No.
She's British in real life.
That's even more incredible. I would have never guessed she was British. That's incredible.
It's also the only video game she's done.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe she should be top 3. No, I'm just no, but she her performance is so great, and there's the fact that you just told me that blows my mind even more, because some of the things she has to do in the role, she has this power where she goes into like this detective mode where she goes inside her head, and she basically like has these interviews with other characters in the game, even though you're not actually physically there one-to-one. She has to like talk to herself. She has to like have these invisible conversations. She has to like see these visions and everything. And just her expressions and reactions to all those is just so relatable and so understandable in a game where there's not a lot of that. There's not a lot of understanding or relating things. It really just is such a great role in a game that she executes perfectly. I really do love Saga Anderson. In a lot of ways, I really do think she is the reason I love Alan Wake 2 so much. Because the same reason why I love Ghost of Tsushima is because I just related to the role and the story that they were telling through Jin Sakai. And I think without that, I wouldn't love the game as much as I do. Same way now with Alan Wake 2. I relate to her role and her character so much that it makes me love the game. Yeah, Saga Anderson's got to come in at 4. I know I just said all of that, and she's not even top 3. So now you're wondering, like, what the heck is your top 3 if that? But yeah, but
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. All right. My number 4 is a technical 2-parter. Because one to me isn't one without the other, and that's what makes it sort of be in this sort of spot for me.
Okay.
But it's Master Chief and Cortana.
So is this So is this 4 and 3?
3 and 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just 4.
Okay, so both. Okay,
just 4.
That works. It's like a duo. That's fine.
Because it's them together. It's the connection that you get in 3 and 4 with them that tells a much more like deeper sort of emotional side of it. 4 made me cry. I don't, everybody likes to give a lot of love to 3, but 4 to me, story wise, the emotional end to Cortana. And that dynamic with Master Chief, those two together built in that story, especially 3 and 4. Like I said, the one's great, Combat Evolved's great, 2's great, 3 is incredible. 3 and 4 are like it for me for the Halo games. Those are the ones that like set the bar for me when it comes to what I want out of Halo games. And the dynamic that you get between Master Chief and Cortana together during the fighting, during the emotional moments between the two of them, the ending of 3, where you really thought, depending on what difficulty you played on, where you thought Master Chief was dead, like that was heavy, and then finding out that he's not, and then finding out that he's back, because everybody thought Halo was going to be a trilogy, and then they kept going with it. It was like, I'm so excited to play more of Master Chief's story, and Cortana came along with that, and taking Cortana away, even though it was necessary, play the game if you don't know, was so good, and one of the deeper connections I made to a game emotionally for it being sad that I've ever felt so compassionate about. Was that relationship dynamic between those two in those stories. So they take that spot for me. So yeah, no, that's just my number 4. Because like I said, it's the dynamic of the two of them together that make it so good.
Yeah, for sure.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, we are entering our top 3.
Yep.
So remember earlier I said there's a lot of different approaches to how you can look at a character and rank them. And to me, there are 3 there are three main ways. You can get creative and look at it in some other ways, but I think there are three main ways. How cool they are, how good of a character they are, and how much you have a personal attachment to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
My top three are those three categories in a nutshell. One of them is 100% the I just think they are so cool aspect to where I love them so much. One of them is I generally just think the quality of the character is perfect. And then one of them is I just have such a deep connection with them, right? So those are my top three. Starting with number 3, which is I just think they are the coolest character, man. And we're going all the way to Nintendo with Samus. Samus from Metroid. Okay. I love Samus. The design, the world that she lives in, everything about Samus, and that's the thing. That's why I say personal attachment. There's no deep emotional story with Samus. There's no
one of my favorite Smash characters.
Yeah, but you know what?
Yeah.
But I think, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying, not too long ago, I don't think. A game can really become a brand, not just an individual game, right? Like, Horizon is not just Zero Dawn. It's not just for Forbidden West. Horizon's low-key a brand now. It's this thing that you can go and buy a hat for. It's this thing you can listen to music in your car for, right? Something can become a brand, and I think for me, every time I see Samus, it makes me want to play a Metroid game, right? Sure. Every time I see Samus, it makes me want to play Nintendo. Every time I see Samus, it makes me want to just play video games because I think the design of Samus is so cool. I think just seeing Samus just makes me super just excited because they're so cool. Like, the design is dang near perfect. Like, I wouldn't change anything about her design. She's awesome. She has zero suit. She has in the armor. She has multiple different armors. I really just think without Samus, I don't think Metroid would be as good as it is. Because I think just having that little character that you see run around on screen, looking really cool and doing cool things, is just adds so much to it. I genuinely just love Samus for how cool she is.
Love it. Love the pick.
Yeah.
Love the pick. All right. Cool. Well, one of these definitely fits the criteria that you were mentioning for me, and it was the emotional connection is what really puts them in the top for me, and it's my number 3 pick.
Okay.
So that's convenient, and it's just Hero from Fable. Just the original, just the original character that you are named Hero. Because you don't get a name until you buy a name, but mostly they just call you Hero.
I'm really glad you said Fable as quick as you did, because
were you about to go into a Japanese hero?
I was totally about to blurt out the wrong franchise. I was about to go with a Japanese hero. I was going to say Dragon Quest. I was going to say Dragon Quest.
Okay. Hero from Hero Hero from the original the Fable franchise, because to me, like I said, that Fable just sets the tone for what made me branch out.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm going to say set the tone a lot. I go on fits. It really just gave me a branch out of liking different things. It was the first one.
Number 3, Austin.
Yeah, it was it was the first one that introduced me to decision making in the game that would affect the world around you, the different kinds of takes you could take with the types of relationships that you can have, the different view of the ending, whether you could be good or evil, or make a sacrifice, or sacrifice the sacrifice item, the quick button healing, stuff like that. So Fable did a lot of things for me. So for me, that's what puts just the title main character, just hero as it is for me. So that just
Cool.
really
I love that.
that really tops that sort of spot for me. Like I said, not number one, even though Fable's my favorite game.
Yeah.
But definitely a top 3 type of respect for that character.
Right. I'm glad you said that, because I have an honorable mention that's kind of along the same lines. That I was like, I don't know how I will explain this, but I think you did a perfectly good job at explaining that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Real quick, Austin, do
All
you need
right.
a recap? Because he said what number we on. I had to take a call. Do you need a recap of our list, because you missed some? We're just gonna do a recap either way before we get into our top 2. So my list so far is Kratos, Rico Rodriguez, Sephiroth. Or no, sorry, I did a different order. Kratos, Rico Rodriguez.
So we originally had Sephiroth in the same spot.
No, I just wrote a list of
Okay.
when they popped in my head. I did the rearranging
Gotcha.
in my head. Kratos, Rico Rodriguez, Sub-Zero, Bowser Jr., Alan Wake, Sephiroth, Saga Anderson, and Samus. And now we're on my top 2. What is...
And then I'll go through mine, I guess. Jack of Blades, Voss, Sephiroth, Captain Price, Axel Steel, Geralt, Master Chief, Cortana, and then Hero from Fable to catch up to my 10 through 3 there.
Yeah. All right, we're in our top 2.
I can't wait.
Oh, man.
It's funny because I've always had the feeling if I actually played FF7 Universe games, Zack would be my favorite character. I thought about putting Zack in there. He's in my honorable mentions. I will just say that. Zack's in my honorable mentions. I'll just throw that there. Because I was like, that would throw like a wrench in the works to people who maybe don't know like the take of it. But yeah, no, Zack's a great character. Especially if you play Crisis Core, you fall in love with Zack so much. Obviously, because that's his game. But
I just thought of another honorable. I could have 50 million honorable mentions if I.
Oh yeah, me too.
Dude, oh my god.
Bring back goated Cortana. Facts. See, yeah, he gets it.
Cortana. All right, top 2. So, like I said, my top 3 represent the 3 main ways to look at characters, in my opinion. They're just super cool. They are an insanely well written and developed character, or you just have a personal emotional attachment to one of them. Number 2 is I genuinely just think they are a dang near flawlessly written character. And y'all may not agree with this. I don't think you or Austin really even have a say, because you guys have no idea. I don't think you've even played the game, so I don't know. But I genuinely do think he has the best character arc in all of gaming. And it spans through multiple games, and that is Nathan Drake from Uncharted. Genuinely, and I said this earlier, there are so many adventure, globe-trotting, searching ancient ruins, solving puzzle games out there. There are so many. But do you know the one thing Uncharted has that separates everything else? Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake has legitimately, and I say this, I've said this 10 million times, he has a perfect character arc. And that is why Uncharted is my favorite franchise of all time, even though like not even one of the games are in my top 20. That's because when you play 1 through 4, even Lost Legacy, but Nathan Drake's not in that one. When you play 1 through 4 and you experience Nathan Drake's character arc, it genuinely is so amazing what they're able to do to just a normal guy. He doesn't have insane powers. He doesn't have insane weapons. He doesn't have an insane backstory. He's a dude who finds a hot chick he likes, who pursues a hobby, who almost dies a couple times, who ends up having a kid, and who punches people in the face. That's it.
Bam.
And it is so emotional. It is so engaging. It is so interesting. And it is so perfectly paced. It is so it's just written so well. This is a character that genuinely grows over every game. It's not one of those things where it's like, okay, that character has this internal conflict at the beginning of the game, And by the end of the game, they've kind of resolved that. All right, let's go to the next chapter in their life. It's like, no, this character is who he is at the beginning of 1. At the end of 1, he's reached a new milestone in his life. And then the second one, it's let's reach the next milestone in his life. Until by the end of chapter 4, he's a completely transformed human being.
Sure.
And even at the end of 4, they even know what they were doing, because at the end of 4, they have all these like pictures and things to show you like some of the moments from the original games. That's like, man, look how far not we have come. Look how far you have come, Nathan Drake. Like, you have changed so much from being this thief who just wanted to pickpocket everybody to this person who just wants to live on a beach for the rest of his life and build a family. Like, it's such a normal story, perfectly written, and he has one of the most just attachable personalities to him. His jokes always land. His one-liners are amazing. He's just, he is a perfect character, and I genuinely cannot stress that enough. I don't think anything is perfect, but he's as close to that as you get when it comes to characters. There's a reason Uncharted is one of the most beloved franchises of all time. Not even just me saying it's my favorite. I think, like, genuinely, it is one of the most beloved franchises in all of gaming, and there is a reason for that, because of Nathan Drake. Without him, the franchise would not be what it is, period. Otherwise, it would be Tomb Raider. It would be Indiana Jones. It would be whatever else you can think of that have the same things. Nathan Drake is what makes Uncharted.
The character and story builds the game.
Exactly.
Yep. Love it. Love the respect. Classic. OG. Indie. Man's there. Alrighty. Well,
real quick, hang on. Sorry. The names of the game. The first one is Drake's Fortune, because he's all about making gold, making money, about stealing things. The second one is called Among Thieves. The fourth one's called A Thief's End.
Even though there's supposed to be another one, maybe.
We'll see. I don't know if it'll have Nathan Drake in it or not. I really don't know. That is, that's also my thing of why I'm so skeptical for a possible Uncharted 5.
Right.
I don't want them to ruin it.
Can you do the game without?
Like it's perfect the way it is. Don't mess it up. But at the same time, I want more of it. Like, I want more of it.
Yep, I feel that for sure. All right. Well, we're gonna move on, I guess, to my numero dos. Shouldn't be much of a surprise that this person is on my list. We're gonna go with PlayStation's favorite 19-year-old redhead. We're gonna go Aloy of the Nora.
That introduction is crazy.
Aloy of the Nora, PlayStation's favorite 19-year-old redhead.
Aloy.
She's just so good, man. Her character development from an outcasted baby that you have no context as to why, to this little girl who's just curious, who's being raised by someone who's just hard on her to teach her lessons, to her adaptation to becoming this young woman who learns so much reality beyond what the whole world thinks is reality, and just her connection and emotional just transfusion to savage outcast to someone who just realizes that, like, the world is what it is. This is what happened. This is crazy. I am creation. Like, everything is so wrong that we knew. And the way that she handles it with the character dynamics, Ashley Birch is an absolutely incredible voice actress. Her work as Aloy is unmatched, in my opinion, for like I said, that sort of character in games. The charm that she does have, sort of, with her, sort of sassy bad attitude that Aloy kind of has. She's always got a little bit of bite in just about everything that she does. Even whenever she's sweet to people, she's kind of backhanded. In some of it, she's definitely got her own flair, but everyone learns to love her. Whether you rely on her to save you, or whether you just develop an emotional and strong connection within the game, everybody becomes a big fan of Aloy. and yeah, so good. It's so good. Forbidden West is so good. She's just great. And I wish I would have like been working in retail whenever those games were coming out religiously, because I don't have like any merch as far as like posters or like figures or anything, and a lot of them are like really hard to find too. Like
I have a poster for Zero Dawn. Nice. I just got it like off the website. I don't know.
A lot of them are like really hard to find too. Like I'm like sketchy to try to like buy certain things online and like nowhere really local, like Gary's Horizon stuff. So it's kind of hard to get stuff. But yeah, Aloy is just an absolutely flawless character for me. Her dynamic with it, experiencing the world with her. Again, it's another one of those games. It doesn't necessarily have so many like different endings. It has different like outcomes like within the endings, but again, it's another one of those games. It's huge. There's tons of side stuff to do. It really feels like you're making your own kind of character. In this one, you're not. You're plopped down with someone whose story that gets told, and you get to experience this huge, vast world with this character. And Aloy, to me, just seals it for this type of game. Guerrilla and Horizon have just really kind of set the pedestal for me out of what I really want out of games. If I ever someday get to be my own creative director in a video game, I would want whoever makes these games to be 100% the people that would do it, because the way they make their games is what made me love Aloy and her story so much. Yeah, everybody executes her character perfectly, who puts in the work for her design, her voice, her story, her capabilities. She's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Love to see it. Aloy is such a great character. I love Aloy as well.
Good old Aloy.
All right, well, we have both reached our numero uno. So before we go to our numeros, do we want to do honorable mentions now?
I wouldn't be opposed. Sure. Yeah, if you want to say, because I can probably zip through mine pretty quick with like a brief explanation for each one. I'm pretty sure
we both know who our number ones are. Like, I think I know yours, and
I guarantee you don't know my number one.
Really?
I guarantee you do not know my number one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that throws me for a complete loop, because I thought I had it on lock.
It probably does, but no, I guarantee you do not know my number one.
Okay, we're definitely gonna do honorable mentions now, because if he's not number one, then he's got to be honorable mentions, right? All right, because I started the actual list first, you go ahead and start with your honorable mentions first.
Okay, well, we're just gonna get to the ones that you think they are, and you actually mentioned this earlier. One of my honorable mentions is all of the other Final Fantasy VII characters. Literally all of them. They're all so good. They all make me emotional in their own moments. The deeper story that they're adding to all of them with the new games is so good. It's my list. Okay, Austin. So yeah, the connection with Aerith makes me cry. The story with Barrett makes me cry. I don't love the change to Cid. I don't love the change that they did to Cid, but I like the Cid character. Obviously, everything with Tifa. Tifa's my girl. It's just so great. I enjoy Kate Sith. You name it, they're good. I can't wait to see a more development of where they take Vincent's story, as well as Cid's. So Yuffie's obviously great. They're all just so good. They're all just incredible characters. The story dynamic is good. Playing the original with them is great. Playing the newer games with them is great. Learning the story, building the lore. It's just Final Fantasy VII characters as a whole, terrific. So, can we just keep going?
No,
just get them out the way, because I can. Because the rest of them are going to be quick.
Go ahead.
The rest of them are going to be quick. Astrobot. Definitely an honorable mention right there.
W.
Sylens from Horizon, the Lance Reddick character.
Wow.
Especially after playing through again, I've just fallen more and more in love with the Sylens character. He's so good.
Wow.
Alexios / Cassandra, the AC Odyssey
Ooh,
characters
okay.
that you get to
Some
play
deep
as.
cuts
Love
right
AC Odyssey. It's my favorite Assassin's Creed game. And then my last honorable mentions, real quick, because I only have to say who she is and what game she's in, and it speaks for itself. Lydia from Skyrim.
I'm not gonna lie. Me and Austin are definitely both looking at the screen right now. It's like,
Lydia from Skyrim. She gets such an honorable mention.
All right.
She lives to carry my burden.
Wow, that's deep. Real quick, I would not make crap for you, Austin, just because of the fact I was thinking about doing something very similar to Jordan, of putting like just a group of characters. So I don't know if I would make crap for you because I was thinking about doing the same thing. I was gonna say low key. With the reason I didn't do it is because of recency bias. I would low key debate putting the Veilguard cast in there because I love all the companions. I think they're all really great. But my honorable mentions. I guess the one I'll have to explain the most.
Who's Lydia? The personal house Carl that you get for saving Whiterun from the South Tower. He's
never played Skyrim, and he hates it. That's
your own fault.
He has no interest in Skyrim whatsoever.
That's your own fault. One of the only groups I would put on my list would be Frank West and Chuck Green.
You literally just said the entire cast of Yakuza 7 and 8. Like, so it's obviously not one of the only. It's two of the only. All right. Anyway.
All right.
So, honorable mention. I might have to explain a couple of these because some of them are very interesting. So, the first one, Austin got it right. Celine from Returnal. She is just, generally, it's just a personal attachment because you spend 30 plus hours of absolute agony and miserableness with her, trying to beat the dang game. And so you unfortunately spend a lot of time with her, or I should say fortunately. And just the gameplay, the things she does is so cool. But also just that, if you are somebody who dives into the lore and actually like reads into like a lot of the backstory, there is actually a lot there. She has these like scenes during the game or in between like runs where you start seeing like your kid or like a husband, and you start seeing like some of her fears in life. And basically the 6 main bosses in the game are all taking inspiration off of a Greek god or something that represents one of Celine's fears or something. So it's like really cool just to see like how they take something that is so like not just in your face story and just turn lore into like making characters and making the world feel a lot more purposeful and developed as it really should be. And yeah, just how much fun and how much time you spend with her really is just why I love Celine. But I don't think like Celine is like necessarily an iconic character for me or anything, so that's why she's honorable mention, not on my actual list. The next one I'm going to say, this guy should be on my top 10. Unfortunately, I have this problem. Where I cannot, and this is definitely a problem. This is definitely a me issue as well. When it comes to licensed IPs, so we're talking like Marvel games, we're talking Star Wars games, we're talking DC games, I see those as like video game adaptation type things. Like, I don't think Spider-Man is a video game character. You know what I mean?
See, and I debated putting Peter Parker on there because of how much I love Spider-Man 2018, but it's like, but it is a favorite video game character. Literally. So like it fits.
Literally.
But yeah, no, I get that struggle. Because no, Spider-Man almost made my list like 4 times while I was thinking.
I know. Like, see, that's the thing. Is
do I throw Spider-Man in there? Do I?
Like, no, like for sure. Like they would definitely be on my list. The problem is Spider-Man's not just a video game character, which is why it's like really hard for me to put him on the list. Because when I think Spider-Man, I don't think video game. I think movie. I think comics. I think like superhero. Ezio is not on my list, by the way. So yeah, I didn't put any of those, but this one I want to put an honorable mention because I think he fits the bill a little bit more, and that's Cal Kestis from the Jedi games, because he's only in video games. He's not in a movie or in a TV show. So I do see him as a video game character. He also originally came from video games. So I definitely put him, but at the same time, it's just so hard for me to put a licensed IP character in my like top 10.
And the fact that Cameron Monaghan's also doing his facial and like mocap and everything too. Right. Like I'm on a different sort of scale, because like I see him as an actor before I see him as like Star Wars. Like I see Cameron Monaghan and I think Shameless. I think his work on Gotham, but then it's like, oh, he's also freaking a Jedi. Yeah, he's so good. Kestis, man. So good.
Yeah, so
good pull though.
Yeah, I put him. Austin said it was Ezio on your list. No, he's not, but another assassin is, and that is Shay Cormac from Assassin's Creed Rogue. He is the one that turned bad, pretty much. He's the one who turned into a Templar instead of an assassin, and who turned on the assassins. Generally, I just think his story is very interesting, and it just resonated with me. That's my favorite Assassin's Creed game, so obviously the main character in that one I'm going to love. Kind of like you with Alexios and Cassandra. Yeah, he's just really cool. My next one is Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. He's genuinely just the John Wick of video games. I mean, him and Snake are the John Wicks of video games. They are just so BA. They just know how to mess dudes up, and they do so many cool things while doing it. He's awesome. And the little three circle goggles, green goggles, are just so iconic. You love to see them. My last honorable mention, and this one I'm definitely going to have to explain, is Rook from Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason he's on my honorable mentions list is because I said this to, I think it was you, actually. Yeah, I said this to you and Christian. This is the first time where I genuinely felt attached, like emotionally attached to a custom character. I don't typically get very attached to custom characters. I think they're really cool, and I'm having a lot of fun with them, but I don't like necessarily get very interested in their story or anything, whereas the Rook does not feel like a custom character. You get to customize their appearance, sure, but the Rook is genuinely a character in this game's story, in this game. And I really love the story that they told with them. And I love just the role that they play, and I just became very attached to him. And even now, starting my second playthrough of the Veilguard, I'm just getting even more attached because I love my new custom character. I think she looks awesome, and so it really is just the whole thing of it's the first time I've really fallen in love with a custom character. Yeah.
Love it. All right. We moving on to our ones?
We are.
So, oh, man. This is technically your channel. So do you want to go last, or?
Everyone knows who my number one is.
That's true.
I'll just go first.
That's true. I know who your number one is because I asked you earlier, and you said, yeah, it's probably going to be. So.
Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima is my number one.
Saw that one.
Yo, Miss Pac-Man. That's such a great call. Oh my gosh, dude, that's a great thing. He's the main character of my favorite game of all time. It's my favorite story in video games. And like I said at the beginning of this ranking, I do believe characters are the most important thing, or one of the most important things, not just in stories, but in video games entirely. And that is the reason I love Ghost of Tsushima so much, is the journey and the experience that I took with Jin Sakai. His values, his morals, his characteristics, his personality, everything just resonated with me on such an emotional level that I generally just felt like a different person by the end of the game because I experienced everything he experienced. Sorry.
Planet Coaster 2 mascot.
Austin said the Planet Coaster 2 mascot is your number one. Don't lie now.
Love it.
You're right. But yeah, he's just so cool. And again, it's kind of like the Nathan treatment where he doesn't have any special powers. He's not like this gifted character who just got gifted by God like a second life. He's just a samurai, and he just lives out his life. And the writing and the way that they execute it is just brilliant. It's just amazing. I love what they're able to do with the story surrounding his character and the code of honor, and sometimes not breaking it but bending it and doing what's right even though in a way it's wrong. And it really just makes you question life. Like, have you ever like watched a movie, and I know Austin can relate to this. Have you ever watched such a great movie, and when credits finally roll, you kind of just sit there and you kind of just start thinking about life. You just start thinking about life. That is what it's like experiencing Jin Sakai's story, because even he's questioning all the decisions he's making, and at the end of the day, he's making the right and wrong decision every time, because of not only what he believes in, but because of what others believe in, and because of what he needs to believe in. There's a lot of different morality things with the story, and the fact that they do so many flashbacks of when he was younger and when he learned these things, and then you have to then go ahead and do the opposite. It just makes you question: are you the good guy? Are you the bad guy? Are you doing what you want to do or what you have to do? Is this right? Is this wrong? But at the end of the day, that is what makes him who he is. And I think all of us, just as human beings and people, can resonate with that. We look back on so many things that we regret. We look back so many moments or decisions that we had to make, even though we may have not necessarily liked the decision. But at the end of the day, that's what's going to shape us to who we are. And to me personally, that's just how I resonated with the character. And I think it's just so well done. I just can't help but not put him at number one, because, I mean, he's generally the reason I'm this much into gaming. Like, he genuinely is, because without his character arc, without his story, I would have never fallen in love with video games or found the appreciation that I have for it now. Because Ghost of Tsushima is the game that opened my eyes to what this art form can actually do, what this art form can actually be, and he's at the front and center of it every single time. Which is why I always say, while I'm so excited for Ghost of Yotai, I don't think there's any possibility of it overtaking Ghost of Tsushima, because it's not going to have Jin Sakai. Not that it's going to be bad because it doesn't have Jin Sakai. It's just because Ghost of Tsushima is my favorite game of all time, it's because of Jin Sakai. And so the only way for it to overtake Ghost of Tsushima is for them to deliver a character that I love more than Jin Sakai. And I think that's so hard to do. So, you know, it really is, again, back to what we said. Characters can be and are one of the most important things about video games or just any sort of entertainment. And he is the definition of that for me.
I like it. Alrighty. Well, time to, I guess, reveal.
I'm so curious about this, because you got me so curious now.
Yeah, no, because I assumed you probably thought I was gonna say Cloud.
While you do that, I need to low-key buy. I need to buy Among Us.
Why?
Because one of my friends just asked if I wanted to join his lobby of like 6 people.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. So.
I guess, okay. We're gonna do a little Among Us download break. But yeah, no, I guess
doing a little excursion.
I will say there was one more honorable mention that I wanted to throw in there. Technically, kind of 2, but they're both Rockstar. Arthur Morgan from Red Dead.
Ooh, wait, is that your number 1?
No, that's my last honorable mention that I wanted to throw in there. And then Franklin from Grand Theft Auto 2 for that too. Those are my favorite Rockstar characters. You're a freaking superhero when you drive a car with Franklin. It's just fun. But now we're gonna move on to my number 1. Numero uno, the one that means the absolute most to me when it comes to gaming. Probably the one character that I've probably played the most hours with ever in any game that I've ever played, because I've been playing it since I was a kid. And that character is Blastoise. That character is 100% my top number one video game character. Me and a level 100 Blastoise have went through so many hours of gaming all the way into my late 20s. It's been a good couple years since I've played one of the original Pokemon games. But Pokemon Red, Blue, and then eventually even getting them in Yellow, that's what it's going to be for me.
You have no idea.
It's going to be Blastoise.
You have no idea how much respect I just gained for you.
I love it.
Because I don't have the words. That is the most left field answer anybody could have possibly done.
Hey, I told you. That's what I said. I was like, I bet you have no idea who my number one is. But let me tell you, when I wrote it, it was the first one I wrote.
I love
number
that,
one,
bro.
Blastoise.
That's such a W. Like,
I love Blastoise, man.
That is
Squirtle. Obviously, Squirtle, like War Turtle, like, you know, the evolution. Blastoise and Squirtle are probably a close second. War Turtle is probably my least favorite part of the evolution, even though like War Turtle evolution era is where you learn Bite, which was my favorite move to use. While playing the original games was just Bite, and obviously other than like Hydro Pump. But yeah, Blastoise, man, just like I said, me and a level 100 Blastoise, man. Sure, I had a party behind me, but just because they were functional, I had a freaking, you know, I had a whatever to get me to fly around. I had whatever I wanted to cut down the tree, but my number one was level 100 Blastoise, and I beat everything. It didn't matter. So that's just, that sets the tone for me.
I love that. I love that, bro. It's awesome.
Yep. So, yep, that's my list.
Well, there we go.
Jack of Blades, Voss, Sephiroth, Captain Price, Axel Steel, Geralt of Rivia, Master Chief Cortana, Hero from Fable, Aloy, and Blastoise.
Awesome. My list is Kratos, Rico Rodriguez, Sub-Zero, Bowser Jr., Alan Wake, Sephiroth, Saga Anderson, Samus, Nathan Drake, and Jin Sakai.
Love it.
Yeah, a bunch of honorable mentions as well.
Tons of honorable mentions. So good.
Yeah, we can go.
And I can name so many more.
Yeah, for real.
I can name so many more. It was hard to keep more Horizon characters off from honorable mentions. Like I said, I heavily considered putting Cloud in my top.
I really thought Cloud was going
to... Well, listen, Sephiroth just really sets like the image of Final Fantasy VII for me.
I feel that. No, I 100%.
So, yeah.
100%.
So, you know, it was just like, I'm going to put Sephiroth here, and there's a reason, and it's because, you know, all of them definitely serve like their own purpose. And obviously you play as Cloud in the game, but, you know, Sephiroth, you know?
For sure.
Cloud's second, though. You know, if I definitely had to choose, obviously Cloud's like right there. If not like on par with Sephiroth for what they mean to me as characters. Sephiroth just as the image was, you know.
Can I say
what it means to
can
be.
I say like a Jeep Wrangler in Need for Speed or something like that? It's my favorite character.
Yes.
That's
yes,
amazing.
You can.
I'm just joking.
You 100% can.
You know, one franchise that I wanted to be on this list, I just couldn't figure out a character that I genuinely loved like that. Resident Evil. There's a lot of great characters, but like I don't know if there's any one that I would be like, yep, that's one of my favorite characters. I mean,
I feel like Leon would be the only like titular character.
Leon's like definitely the best one, but it's like
maybe Claire. I don't know. Claire was a.
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't know
another honorable mention.
Why can't I think of his name? The one from 7 and 8 that you play as. Why can't I think of the character's name?
Ethan Winter.
Ethan, yeah, Ethan's a good one. I like Ethan as a main character.
One character I really want to put in honorable mentions, but I didn't want to put too many in honorable. Amicia from A Plague Tale. I think she's really great as well. But yeah, there's so many great ones.
Koopa Troopas.
There's a lot of franchises where it's like there's a lot of great characters, but there's no like one that you would say like is your favorite. You know what I mean? Like Gears of War, I have that issue with. Ratchet and Clank, I have that issue with. I mean, Resident Evil, like I just said, there's so many. It's like, who do you choose? There's a lot of great ones.
Yeah.
But is there that best one? Is the question. But no, all right. Well, that was a great podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let us know in the comments or chat or whatever. What are some of your favorite characters? We'd love to know. We'd love to hear it.
Do you think any of our takes are L's? Do you disagree with me having Blastoise in there? Do you think that was whack? Do you think I should have picked Cloud instead of Sephiroth? Let us know next time on Dragon Ball Z. Anyway.
Oh yeah, do you like Dragon Ball?
I do.
Okay, I was wondering
actually,
why you had a Dragon Ball poster. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was like,
yeah, I got that, and then I got Super Saiyan Trunks right here too. Trunks is my favorite Dragon Ball character.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
But yeah, no, I got Super Saiyan Trunks and Vegeta right here with the fusion thing, and then I got Sparking Zero poster back behind me too. So I do, yeah. It's probably the anime I've watched the most of, but it's been a long time since I've watched it, so I really only remember like the peaks.
Real quick, this is kind of an interesting question. That I feel like we can only have this conversation right now, otherwise it'd be so off topic. What character out of any character, they don't even have to be on our list. What character right now are you most excited to see where they go? It's an interesting question, ain't it?
Yeah, because I feel like my answer is game and not so much character. Because if it's character, it's Aloy.
Okay.
Because the cliffhanger of 2,
I know. I feel that
is huge.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't want to go what my favorite game is, it's Kratos. I'm really interested to see where they either end Kratos or keep him going. So I think.
Sorry, Austin's chat is the definition of somebody who's only played Resident Evil 4. You are lagging to infinity right now.
Sephiroth. Wow. Oh, did we disconnect?
You were. Am I back? You were a robot. You were going 1 frame a second for that.
Am I back?
Kinda. There we go.
I was doing so good for a minute there. I was doing so good for a while there. That one might actually just be like a late time thing, because that sometimes happens between like 10 and 11, just in general. My internet just poops sometimes.
I would say for me...
I don't remember what I said last. But...
I don't know what you were talking about either, honestly.
But yeah, Aloy, Kratos.
Kratos is a good one.
And like I said, as a franchise, Fable.
I'm definitely excited to see where Bowser Jr. goes in the next Mario game, honestly. Curious what kind of new upgrade he'll get. No, for me, it's Alan. I mean, it's Alan Wake.
Sure.
Because they are developing that universe and that crossovers between Control and Alan Wake. Like, I'm just so curious what they're going to do with all those characters.
I'll say the most curious I have is Sam Porter Bridges. Where the hell's Kojima taking Death Stranding to?
That's a good one. That's
probably the one I'm the most curious about. Like I said, I wouldn't say I'm the most excited. Well, I mean, I'm very excited to see where they take it. But that's definitely the one I'm like, where are you even going to go from the first one? Like,
that's a good one. I like that.
Like, how do you add even more to a game that has so much off the wall already? Like I said, almost nothing about it's normal. Like, nothing about it is of the typical nature, other than the fact that there are people that move around. Like, all the mechanics of weapons, the mechanics of the lore, like the gameplay basis, the supernatural, like all of it is all just very different. Mind you, and you know, there may have been like similar things to this, but everything is a pretty weird, fresh take from Kojima. So how do you expand on something that's already so different and unique where they took it already? So that's definitely probably a intriguing one for me.
Calcast is also a good answer for me.
That is a good one. Yeah, I'm really curious to see where they end his story. He just
touched into the dark side too, so it's like
I need to read the book that happens between the first and second game to sort of learn some of the lore from that too. Yeah, I don't think it's that long. I think it's like maybe 100 pages if I'm not mistaken. I think I looked it up whenever Survivor was coming out. But yeah, I want to try to read into that because I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm about to go play Among Us, which is crazy.
I'm going to go play Horizon.
Yeah. We're both going and conquering this world. Anyway.
50 hours since launch, by the way. I'm a dedicated man.
Hey, I feel that. I'm pretty much the same way with Dragon Age.
The protagonist of Mass Effect. Shepard?
Shepard's story's done. If they brought him back, it would be like basically like I don't want to say milking, but they would have to come up with some excuse to bring him back. Pretty much. Not that he died. It depends on your ending of the third one. I don't know if the canon version. I don't know if the canon story of Mass Effect he dies or not. I really don't know. I haven't played 3 yet, but
I don't know if they've clarified.
Yeah, I don't think the next one I don't think they've even confirmed the main character is going to be in Mass Effect. Plus, Mass Effect you kind of make a custom character too, so it's like
yeah, but that's sort of that scenario that you were talking about, kind of with like Dragon Age, where it's like it's a character you create, but you're definitely in their story
for sure. Yeah. All right, well that's gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Johnny,
see you guys.
Peace. That's crazy, Austin.
Wild.